Committee Secretary. I would like to thank all the guests present here for giving this time this in giving time in this hearing. I decided to have this public hearing because this committee received a report that there has been misuse of government funds for its road right-of-way project in General Santos City. Alam ng lahat na ako ay taga GenSan at nagkataon din na chairman ako ng Public Works dito sa Senate. Kaya talagang bibigyan ko ito ng pansin dahil ito maliit na issue. Napakalaking pera ang involved dito. So nag-file ako ng Senate Resolution number 561. Ito ay isang resolution directing the Senate Committee on Public Works to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the reported faults in the system, if any, resulting to the misuse of government funds for its road right-of-way project covered by alleged spurious land titles in General Santos City. We conduct this committee hearing to confirm with our resource persons from the Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Justice, Bureau of Internal Revenue, the veracity such irregularities. Through this inquiry, we aim to review the existing expropriation process, find out any oversights in this procedure, if any, and propose remedies by probably changing the current expropriation procedure to address this issue. Hence, we find it urgent to investigate this matter to once and for all assess whether there is a need to modify existing expropriation procedure to efficiently serve the public. We will now give each department 15 minutes to give us an overview. I believe the DOJ Secretary Aguirre has a presentation. And I would like also to call Engineer Rogelio Singson, for former Secretary DPWH, to present also. And also the Committee Secretary, Administrative. The DPWH also will present after the current the DPWH will present their PowerPoint. But before that, I would like to ask the Committee Secretary to administer the oath.
Kindly stand. I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this public hearing to help you.
Mr. Secretary, proceed your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Senator Manny Pacquiao, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Works, Senator Franklin Dillon, the leader, Senator Panfilo Lacson, the same committee, the fellow public servants, resource persons, present this morning, to the Filipino people, a blessed morning to all. Foremost, kindly accept the appreciation of your Department of Justice for the invitation extended to us to be a part of this investigation on the almost 9 billion peso road right-of-way scam. We, just like every Filipino, are very much interested to get to the bottom of this alleged scam perpetrated to plunder the public treasury. President Rodrigo Duterte has made it very clear that stopping corruption in government is one of the centerpieces of this administration. Clearly, there's no place for corruption in the government. Corruption must stop. Not only will it stop, but with the full force of our laws, those who are responsible for raiding and plundering the public coffers will be brought to justice. The DOJ is here not only because we fully support the objectives of this Honorable Committee's investigation, but also to reiterate our solemn commitment of supporting President Duterte's directive of eradicating corruption. On November 23, 2017, during a press conference at the DOJ, he broke the news that a witness to an alleged road right-way scam in General Santos City has come forward to share both his personal knowledge on the matter and also to surrender bags full of documents in support of his allegations. Previously, on November 20, 2017, the National Bureau of Investigation informed me that they have a witness who is personally involved in a criminal syndicate, which was purportedly involved in defrauding our government of around 8.7 billion pesos from a road right-of-way RROW scam in General Santos City. Based on the initial reports submitted to me by the NBI, this criminal syndicate supposedly submitted fake titles in the name of non-existing persons to allow them to claim from the Department of Public Works and Highways the just compensation from the expropriation of land which will be supposedly occupied by government projects. The modus operandi of this syndicate is that it claims for just compensation of road right-of-way which are intended for rightful owners who were affected by national highway construction in General Santos City. The supposed members of the syndicate would submit fake titles which would be in the name of non-existing persons, in the names of those who are not the real owners. The syndicate would then secure payment using these fake land titles. We have information that one claim for just compensation amounts to around 29 million pesos. From 2009, when the syndicate started to operate, we were told that the members of this syndicate were able to process more than 300 folders containing fake road right-of-way claims amounting to more or less 8.7 billion pesos. Some of the persons named by our witnesses as being involved are the following: Wilma Mamburam, Colonel Chino Mamburan, Merceditas Dumlao, and Nelson T. Our witness further revealed that Mr. Nelson T., the financier of the group, is a close relative of Domingo Lee, Philippine envoy to China at that time, and is supposedly close to former President Benigno Aquino III. I was also informed that for the syndicate to accomplish these apparently criminal acts, several public officials from the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the City Assessor's Office of General Santos, the Registry of Deeds, the Commission on Audit, and the regional trial courts have been identified by the said witness as having participated in the processing, approval, and eventual release of payments to cover these dubious claims. Consequently, I have instructed the NBI to continue its case build-up in order to further strengthen the case, which most likely will include several high-ranking officials of the Aquino administration. Based on their signatures on the documents submitted to the NBI and on the sinumpang salaysay of our witness, some high-ranking officials, former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson, who approved and requested the release of payment of fake RROW claims. Former Budget Secretary Florencio Abad, who approved the release of payment for illegal road right-of-way claims as requested by the DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson, may also face potential criminal liability. Consequently, I've ordered the provisional admission of the witness. I was referring to our witness protection program for his protection and security. Thereafter, on November 27, 2017, in another press conference at the DOJ, I presented the witness. I was referring to Roberto S. Catapang Jr., the second person to my left. Mr. Chair, the Honorable Committee members, Mr. Roberto S. Catapang Jr. is present today in this hearing to answer your questions. After finishing my opening statement, we humbly request that Mr. Catapang Jr. be recognized and be placed under oath. As of this moment, Mr. Catapang has been provisionally admitted to the Witness Protection Program. By way of updates, I wish to inform everyone that late in the evening of November 24, 2017, I've already approved the issuance of an Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order, ILBO, against 43 persons who were named by Mr. Katapang in his affidavit, which he submitted to us. On a related matter, also last November 24, 2017, after our press conference, during the 2017 homecoming of the Sambeda College of Law at the Manila Peninsula, a law school classmate of the President and yours truly, former Assemblyman Rogelio Garcia of South Cotabato, told me that he is also a victim of this scam. The property of Assemblyman Garcia, around 7,000 square meters, was subjected to the modus operandi of this road right-way scam. Subsequently, on November 28, 2017, after my testimony before the Committee on Justice of the House of Representatives in the ongoing hearing of the impeachment complaint against Chief Justice Sereno, Deputy Speaker Ferdinand L. Hernandez of the 2nd District of South Cotabato handed to me a copy of a letter signed by 9 congressmen and addressed to Secretary Mark Villar of the Department of Public Works and Highways. The letter, dated July 24, 2017, was signed by Deputy Speaker Hernandez, Deputy Speaker by Sandra Sema, Representatives Jesus Sakdalan, Nancy A. Catamco, Jose L. Tejada, Pedro B. Acharon, Ruharto Mangundadatu, Horacio Swansing Jr., and Rogelio Ruel D. Pacquiao of the provinces of South Cotabato, Maguindanao, North Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, and Sarangani, respectively. The letter sought to inform Secretary Villar and Basir M. Ibrahim, OIC DPWH Region 12, that owing to the numerous transactions involving billions of pesos of public funds concerning right-of-way claims before the DPWH Region 12 office, the immediate withholding of the claims should be done. The letter further stated that according to the reports, numerous transactions referred to above are possibly tainted with irregularities. It further stated that most of the claims are either spurious or are based on fabricated documents. The letter likewise stated that it is utterly possible that a syndicate is behind the transactions and that these transactions are being done in large scale for a number of years now. The contents of the letter support the allegation of our whistleblower, Roberto S. Catapang Jr., that numerous transactions involving billions of pesos earning right-of-way claims before the DPWH are possibly tainted with irregularities. Mr. Chair, based on all this information we are sharing, it becomes more imperative that we get to the bottom of this issue, since a large amount of money from the coffers of our government are supposedly involved. The allegations in the form of sworn statement of Mr. Roberto Catapang Jr., including the amounts taken from government coffers, are serious allegations that should be looked into. This is in line with the President's directive to wage war and corruption then and now. In addition, we are taking this opportunity to invite all other persons who have personal knowledge of this scam to come forward and to communicate what they know to help us further solidify our case build-up. If you are listening, we give you our solemn assurance that we shall treat your information and identity with utmost confidentiality. If need be, we'll place you under our witness protection program. I'm reiterating once again my call to all who have personal knowledge of this road right-of-way scam to come forward and to tell the truth. Our office is open to you. When the government is defrauded, it is really the Filipino people who is really defrauded. Mr. Chair and the honorable senators here in present, your Department of Justice reiterates its full support and cooperation in this investigation. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Secretary Italiano Aguirre. Now I call But before that, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bam Aquino. I'd like to call Engineer Rogelio Singson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Senator Pacquiao, and good morning to the other members of the Joint Committee on Public Works and Blue Ribbon, Senator Lacson, Senator Drilon, and Senator. Good morning to everyone and to the other resource persons, to Secretary Aguirre, magandang umaga. Let me start by mentioning some real facts. No? The road projects of DPWH in General Santos and Region 12, subject of the complaint, were started in the 1990s. And titles being shown by Mr. Katapang date back to 2003. Most of these claims for payment were filed between 2007 and 2009, before I took over as Secretary of DPWH. The amount of compensation for the claims were all determined by either a provincial appraisal committee or a city, in the case of General Santos, the City Appraisal Committee. And these were all done before 2010. Since DPWH, since I took over in July 2010, we strictly followed the prescribed procedure for validation and valuation of infra right-of-way claims as contained in the Department Order 34 Series of 2007. The process starts at the regional IRO, Infrastructure Right-of-Way Committees, and technical working groups precisely created to validate and to evaluate. Sila ho yung nagsasurvey, sila yung nagdedetermine kung alin ang mga lupang tatamaan. The Central IRO merely reviews for completeness of documents, except yung tinatawag naming interregional or the PPP projects which are handled by the Central. From there, Central Office then requests for funding with very specific claimants. Hindi ho kami nagdadami. No? Merong claimants dyan, magkano at kung anong titulo ang binabayaran saan lugar. Dahil ang releases po is direct to the implementing unit. Kung sa region yan, Region 12. As of July 31, 2011, bear in mind, this is very important, the summary of validated right-of-way claims outstanding at that point are as follows. The total amount is 8.729 billion, covering 1,288 claimants nationwide. Hindi po General Santos ito. Nationwide, yung 8.7 billion that is being mentioned in the complaint. Out of this amount, about 4 billion is coming from Region 12, including General Santos City. I'd also like to inform that a writ of mandamus was issued sometime in August 22, 2010 by the RTC of General Santos City, and again, another writ of mandamus by the same RTC court in August 2012, directing DPWH to pay the land claimants affected by the road right-of-way projects in General Santos City. Marami pong road projects in that region. Nandyan ho yung Digos, Davao City, Mahar, Kiamba, and several others. Dahil at that time, the Mahar Airport or Mahar Seaport and the airport in General Santos were also being developed by the USAID at that time. DPWH suspended payments in Region 12 in 2012. Nagpahinto po ako ng payments until all the land claims were again revalidated, verified with LRA, General Santos Office, and the LRA. In fact, DPWH even asked COA to do a financial and legal audit of the right-of-way claims in 12. No partial payments or no payments were made in 2012. And we just resumed payments in March 2013 after we were satisfied with the validity and authenticity of the claims supporting titles from LRA. So kung hindi po namin paniniwalaan yung mga titulong binerify, binalidate namin sa LRA, sino pa hong paniniwalaan namin sa mga titulo? So again, from our side, we respect only and we only pay on the basis of validated, verified titles from LRA. Wala po kaming kinalaman dun sa lakaran, sa mga sindikatong sinasabi for them to produce the title. For the period from July 2010 to the end of the Aquino administration in June 30, 2016, total amount released to Region 12 for land claims, including General Santos, amounts to 2,572,608 and 38 centavos, not 8.7 billion. For just compensation, we either use the certified BIR zonal value or the provincial as appraisal committee or the city appraisal committee, which determines the compensation, whichever is lower. Hindi po ako nagpumayag na bayaran anything higher than the BIR zonal value, which is under the prescribed rules. In fact, we had to get waiver of rights for many of the claimants to accept a lower amount than what was originally determined prior to my assumption. Meron po kami isang katerbang waiver of rights from the claimants accepting a lower payment rather than what was originally committed to them. The letters addressed to me as Secretary of Public Works following up land claims purportedly coming from President Aquino's sister, Ms. Bolsi Cruz, and brother-in-law Eldon Cruz are fake and spurious letters because I myself verified these letters. Your Honors, I accepted the position of DPWH Secretary for the opportunity to serve God and country. I served for 6 years with dignity and dedication as we initiated good governance and anti-corruption measures to minimize corruption in the department and to restore dignity to public service. I fully support President Duterte's anti-corruption program. But let me say, I did not profit or gain anything from any of these land claims as accused by Secretary Aguirre. There is no 8.7 billion paid in General Santos. I was not a corrupt secretary and definitely not a plunderer. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman. I'm submitting all these documents and supporting details based on what I recall on the documents that I've seen so far, and I have submitted this to the committee secretary. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, former Secretary Singson. Now, I would like to...
Can we have a copy of this statement if it's already Secretary?
Can we have a copy of that letter that you...
Including
read?
that of Secretary Aguirre?
Yes, Mr. Secretary, can you...
Was already given to the Secretary of the Committee.
I'm gonna call the General Director of DPWH or DPWH to present their presentation. Regional Director of DPWH, I believe that you have a presentation.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. This two committee, the Blue Ribbon and Public Works. May I just request my lawyer, who is the legal officer of our region, present the PowerPoint. That is based on available records. By the way, would you allow me to just state my personal circumstance with regards to this hearing? Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
For the
Chair,
information
Mr.
of this
Chair.
honorable body,
Mr. Chair, before that,
Drill is recognized.
as a matter of procedure,
Yeah.
we do not allow lawyers or resource persons to testify. It is the resource person himself or herself who should testify. We cannot, we have rejected in all the committee hearings the testimony of counsel. Of course, counsel can advise, but not testify.
yes, sir, but attorney is also one of the resource persons, sir. She's one of the resource persons.
Okay, in that case then, yeah.
Who
that's in
is
order.
the one who
Because he
prepared-
said he was counsel.
Yes, sir.
Attorney is working also in DPWH. Go ahead.
So may I just continue, sir? For the information of this honorable body, I assume as the officer in charge of DPWH Region 12 last April 24 this year. So therefore, with respect to the payments made, these are all the payment being made by my predecessors. So as of this year, Your Honor, we have not disbursed release of any payment, succeeding payments. So for purposes of presentation, for your information also, may I allow Attorney Jahara Ali to present where this subject claim for immediate appreciation of the
Mr. Chairman, may we know the position or the designation of Attorney?
Jahara.
What is your designation in the DPWH Region 12? Ano po ba ang position nyo doon?
I am the Chief Legal of DPWH Regional Office.
Go ahead. You
First, Your Honor, good morning to the Chairman of Works and the Ribbon Committee. Yes.
pakilapit lang ng mic
Yes, Your
para marinig.
For the record, Your Honor, what we are presenting are based on extant records for office. These are subdivision plans and parcellary plans submitted by these row claimants, which were part of the processing of these right-of-way transactions. May we show the first slide, please? So the claims involved Igus Makar Road, Your Honors. This involves 127 claimants, Your Honor, and 127 lots, Your Honor. And they were derived from different transfer certificate of titles and were now transferred in the name of the Republic of the Philippines as of December 2016. The first subdivision plan, Your Honor. This is the road section of Lagao, Your Honor, in General Santos City, Your Honor. So the first section covers may we show the partition of the each lots?
Mr. Chair, May we know what is the relevance of all of these documents? I could not even see them. I could not even understand what they are. Why is this being presented, and why is the time of the committee being required for these documents? May we just know the relevance of this? Ano ba mga ito?
Your Honor, these are the subdivision plans and parcellary plans submitted for these right-of-way claims
Submitted by whom?
by the claimants, Your Honor, and validated by the right-of-way agent and the geodetic engineers of previous administrations, Your Honor.
So these are subdivision plans.
Yes, Your Honor.
These are valid subdivision plans.
As submitted, Your Honor, by the claimants and as certified by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Your
Okay.
DNR.
Submitted by the claimants, validated by the DNR.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is among the documents which form the basis for the payments of the right road of way claims.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So thank you very much. Please continue.
So this presentation, Your Honor, shows the partition of each lots in each subdivision. So this comprise of 127 lots, Your Honor. And this presentation shows the City Heights General Santos City, Your Honor. So these are only the available records, Your Honor, that we have seen in our records.
So on the basis of this, you can say these are authentic titles.
Yes, Your Honor, on the basis of these submitted documents.
Are authentic.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is the basis of the payments of right road of way
Yes, Your Honor, for previous transactions.
for previous transactions. Thank you.
Yes, Secretary Aguirre.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, he was presenting a subdivision plan. She did not even say that it is an approved plan. So we don't know because that's precisely the modus operandi of this syndicate. Present this kind of plans which are not even approved. What is a mere subdivision plan which has not been approved? It's nothing.
For the record, Your Honor, we are only basing that on available documents that we have also collated in our records, and we are not part of the officials that gather those documents and approve those raw claims po.
Senator Aquino is
Yes,
recognized.
just to clarify, no, hindi ho to plano. These are already this has been approved already.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yung mga pangalan na yan, nag-release na kayo ng pera sa kanila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright, so ang tanong siguro, Secretary, ano dyan yung tinutukoy yung peke na titulo o peke na tao?
Opo, kasi po doon sa kanyang presentation, sinasabi niya subdivision plan. Pag subdivision plan, plano lang po yan. Hindi pa po na-aprobahan yan.
No, I
so
think this
that's
is
precisely the nature of this scam. They present to you the subdivision plans who are based on fake claims. Kaya plans, hindi naman niya sinasabi kanina na approved plan. It was only upon your questioning, Your Honor, that he said that these are approved plans. Wala
Yes.
naman sinasabi dyan na approved plans yan eh.
Sabi ho niya, so can we just clarify, Yusek, are you the highest, Yusek Jimeno, are you the highest ranking DPWH here? Or what was presented to us?
Mr. Chairman, based on what I'm seeing on the screen, and I'll have our former DPWH secretary correct me on this, but they appear to be parcellary survey plans, which usually form the basis for right-of-way claims, because when a project for an infrastructure project of DPWH is planned, at the planning stage, the parcellary survey for right-of-way is also conducted, which means they determine which properties will be affected by the infrastructure project. And that's usually the basis also for estimating the cost
Right.
of
But
the right-of-way.
itong pinakita ho sa atin, these aren't prospective. These are already approved. Is that correct? And in fact, ito na yung mga nabayaran.
I need to qualify
You can-
my statement on this because I was not part of DPWH when these parcellary surveys were prepared and also certified. But based on the statements of Attorney Jahara, when she said that they were already approved by the DNR, usually that's part of the process where the alignment is determined and then a parcellary survey is conducted. The DNR approves it. That means that that's the alignment that's part of the project. It's basically certified as the alignment used for the infrastructure project. And that's also part of the documents that are used as basis for payments.
Right. So, attorney, itong pinakita nyo sa amin, ito na yung napag-aralan ninyo at na-approve. Is that correct?
Honor, we did not approve that subdivision plan, and we only gathered that based on existing records.
Okay. So, ano yung relevance ito sa hearing natin ngayon?
We presented that to form part of the payments made by previous regional directors.
So nabayaran na yung mga taong yan for the lots.
Yes, Your Honor.
So they're approved,
Partially paid, Your Honor.
partially paid.
Yes,
So
Your
these are approved already.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So yun yung nabayaran na. Okay. And this is part of the 2 billion na nabayaran na, attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. I guess the question there is, ano ho dyan yung peke na lote tsaka peke yung pangalan? No?
That's right, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, the good lawyer from the DPWH should have presented the following documentary requirements. First, letter request from the claimant landowner. B, land title, OCT or TCT. 3, tax declaration. 4, the land tax certificate. E, 5th, BIR certification. F, mapping report. G, certified approved plan issued by the DNR. H, parcellary map by a geodetic engineer. That's only one. That is the parcellary map. Next is a trace back of OCT and TCT. Did they trace back the title to determine its authenticity? Next is linear diagram. Then road and access certification. And then regional attachments. And M, technical description of the property. Isa lamang po yun sa napakaraming requirements. That's why we know very well that that has been approved, but we are almost sure that this is part of the work of the syndicate.
Okay, Secretary, before we get there, no? Yung mga binanggit ni Secretary Aguirre na mga requirements, were those submitted by these individuals?
It appears, Your Honor, this forms part of voluminous document office, and we have not yet summarized those documents as submitted by the landowners.
Teka, when were these filed? Were these filed, kailan ba yung claims na to? According to Secretary Singson's statement, 2003, is that correct?
Actually, Your Honor, I do not have personal knowledge also on these transactions, as I assumed office as chief legal only on
Okay.
May 2017.
Si Regional Director, kailan ho kayo naging Regional Director ng DPWH?
Your Honor, as I earlier mentioned, I assume here, April 24 to be exact.
Okay. May kasama ho ba kayo na kasama during the time na pinoproseso po ito in the past 5 or 6 years?
Wala po kasi actually was just issued a memorandum from our secretary to appear on this.
Okay. Let me
Probably
ask
to
Yusek
shed light
Jimeno.
on present.
Yusek Jimeno, is anyone here, were they part of the group that assessed all of this in the past 5 or 6 years?
Your Honor, to clarify, we have Director Patrick Gatan, been with the DPWH since 2000. And we have, since for over 30 years. And we have also the former highest ranking official for legal under the DPWH before 2017 and before 2016. Director Zaldivar, Estrella Zaldivar, who used to be the legal director for.
Okay, I don't want to take up the time of the chairman, but
Yeah.
pakisagot na lang po,
Okay,
Director
yeah.
Zaldivar, yung mga nabanggit ho ni Secretary Aguirre ng mga dokumento, are these, were these submitted by these claimants?
Mr. Chair, I don't have personal knowledge on those fake titles na 300 something. I have not seen them. I just assumed my position as Legal Service Director in 2014. And as earlier stated by former Secretary Singson, the documents were already submitted much earlier before assume our function. Perhaps Director Gatan is
Okay, alam mo,
more
lahat na
conversant.
nagpasapasahan na tayo ha. Nakakaapat na pasa na tayo. Can anyone just answer if these documents are indeed? Sige nga po, Director, baka naman kayo na po yung makapagsagot ng tanong.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. With regards to the parcellary plan, bago kasi mag-start ng project, kailangan may parcellary plan. Ibig sabihin, makikita ko doon yung affected at yung end area, kung ano yung area na iwan, ano na nakalagay ho. So, nagsisimula ho ito, kukunin ho yun sa yung geodetic engineer, kung nag-hire ho sila, kukunin ho sa Register of Deeds, tapos ipla-plot ho yan. Ilalagay ho sa isang parcellary plan,
Okay,
and
but
that will be
Director,
approved. Yes.
huling step na yung may gantong nakadivide. Ang una pong step, may documentary requirements na hinihiling. No? I think that's what Secretary Aguirre was referring to. Yung, I think that's 8 or 9 items that Secretary Aguirre raised, naibigay nga po ba yun o hindi? Ang tanong ko kasi dyan, na-check ba talaga kung totoo yung mga taong to o hindi? I think yun po yung punot dulo po nung tanong, no? So, if you can just kindly answer, very simply, yung mga documentary requirements po ba ay naibigay at na-check nga po ba kung totoo ang mga taong ito at totoo nga po yung mga titulo?
Before you answer that, the permission of Senator Bambakino, did you finish your presentation? Tapos na ba yung presentation? Yun lang yung presentation nyo?
Mr. Chairman, in fairness to Attorney Tarata, Chahara,
Sahara?
ang tinetestify niya lang, pinapresent niya, yung galing sa records ninyo.
Yes,
Hindi
Your
naman niya sinasabing totoo yon o hindi totoo yon. Kasi siya yung legal officer eh. So, nag-call siya ng mga dokumento from the records, from the official documents, yun ang pinapresent niya.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Based sa documents na nag-gather mo from your office, right?
Your Honor, based on extant records in our office.
Okay, tapos na kayo mag-present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tapos na? Okay.
Question ko.
Okay, Secretary, you can answer the question. And then, I think, may pasunod, may ano tayo, ang unang magtatanong si Senator Lacson, but the question already. So, after that question, si Ping Lacson ang magtatanong una.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So that we will have a complete understanding of the process of how these road right-of-way claims are being paid, could we now ask our witness to make a PowerPoint presentation from the beginning up to the end so that everybody will have a clear picture of how the syndicate works? So I recommend, Your Honor, that the next resource person would be the principal witness himself. We will be complete with PowerPoint presentation.
Mr. Chairman, I just have a question. Pwede lang pakisagot lang ho yung question before your ruling. Bago kayo mag-rule on that, can we just have my question answered, please?
Okay, can you answer the question that Bambakino raised?
Yes, Director. I can't see your name, Director, no? Yung katabi ho ni Director Zaldivar. Whoever from DPWH.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to clarify. That's why it's difficult for us to answer in terms of just to clarify and so as not to be disrespectful to this committee rin na kung bakit kami nagpapasapasahan because it's very magulo po yung history ng right-of-way processing sa DPWH. So, before, the right-of-way processing was under Director Gatan, who used to be Unified Project Management Office, or UPMO, at that time. And then in 2013, it was transferred to the Bureau of Design briefly. And then in 2014, the function was transferred to Legal Services under Director Zaldivar. That's why the properties involved here date back to several years ago, but in terms of processing, yung papeles po, yung documents, pasa-pasa.
Okay.
That's just to
Director Gatan, that's Director Gatan, no? Pakisagot lang ho yung tanong. Lahat ho ba ng mga documentary requirements na ibigay for these particular parcels of land?
Ganito po, Your Honor. No? Nagsisimula ho lahat ito sa Region 12. And there is a requirement under Department Order 80 that there is a creation of IRO committee. Then they will forward it to the Central Committee for review. Then after that, it will be for request for funds if after the validation. So kung yung accurate, ito ho yung tinatawag natin parcellary plan, magsisimula ho sa kanila sa Region 12. Then after that, akyat ho sa amin, titignan namin kung yung mga requirements ay kompleto. Kung kompleto na, isasama ho yan sa validated na ho.
Right. So yung sagot po nyo ay yes. Validated po ito.
Sa tingin ko po, sa kanila ho yung sasagot ho nun.
Alam mo, nakakatawa, no? Kasi nagpapasahan kayo no? Nagpapasahan kayo. And I can understand, no? Of course, the DOJ secretary has been using terms like scam and crime, no? Ganyan, no? But we have to be clear kasi mayroon kayong mga duties, no? Validate nyo ho ba ito o hindi?
Sir, may I just comment? Although I had just assumed April 24. But if we are talking here of the payment, partially paid, we presume that all those requirements, as per the PWH, were all complied. But still, we are not yet privy to this. If we can really confirm on that. But based on the documentation and during the processing of the payments, otherwise this cannot be processed if not complying.
Okay. I'm not asking you muna, Director, no? Kasi bago lang ho kayo eh. I'm asking Director Secretary, I'll get to you in a while. I just want a definite answer here. Director Zaldivar, Director Gatan, dumaan po ito sa Central Committee and nalipat po ito sa Legal Services. Every step of the way, nagwa-validate ho ba kayo or hindi kayo nagwa-validate? It's a simple question.
Mr. Chair, on my part, when I assumed the position of legal service in October 27, 2014, and right-of-way claims were brought to referred to my office, I saw the IRO resolutions stating that they have made a verification or validation of all the documents submitted in different government agencies. And on top of that, subsequently, just to satisfy my own requirement, in view of the information that I got, that there may be titles which are fake that have been submitted, I required the members of the IRO committee from the region to come to the central office and certify again that those certifications or statements they have stated in their right-of-way resolution are true and that they have done it. They have done the personal verifications themselves, and they also attested to the genuineness of the signatures appearing on the IRO resolutions. But on top of that, I also did, for those claims which were brought to my attention for funding, I did my own personal verification with the Land Registration Authority disregarding the previous certifications that I saw based on the records, and painstakingly went over the documents, the titles that were submitted to me, matched the title numbers, registered owners, and the technical descriptions there in the records or database of the Land Registration Authority. And
so kayo nag-check ho kayo ng mga pangalan?
Personally po.
Tsaka sa LRA?
Opo. I
Okay.
talked to the division chief who issued the certification, a certain Sir John Pastrana.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, Secretary Singson was raising his hand earlier.
Former Secretary Singson,
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. If you may allow me, I can submit a document, a sample document, what Attorney Saldivar was referring to. At ito nakalagay, list of revalidated claims. If you remember, I did mention earlier that we stopped payments in 2012 precisely to again go through the whole process of validating these claims dahil personally, nagtataka po ako dahil napakalaki ng claim na nanggagaling sa Region 12 compared to the rest of the country. No?
So, Secretary, in your time, may duda ka na may ganun ng mga transaction?
Yes, Your Honor, dahil talagang lopsided eh. Ang laki-laki ng claims na nanggagaling sa Region 12. Out of some 8.7, 4 billion ang gagaling sa Region 12. And samantalang 8.7 region-wide, nationwide. Tapos Region 12, 4 billion. So, sabi ko, hintuin nyo nga muna yung payments na yan. I-validate nyo nga uli lahat yung mga titulo. And that was what Attorney Saldivar was referring to. Binalidate nila. And the documents, I will submit this document. It says, the undersigned Technical Working Group Committee members certify and attest that 1. The documents of the listed claimants in complete detail, copy attached as Annex A, are complete and in order pursuant to the Department Order 34. The facts alleged in the IRO resolutions are true and correct and of our own personal knowledge. The signatures appear thereon are genuine. So, nandyan yung claims, and then nandito din yung appraisal report. In-attach nila yung galing po sa syudad, no? Addressed to Mayor, then Mayor Pedro Acharon, signed by the members of the City Appraisal Committee. Ibig sabihin, ang Appraisal Committee Chair is the City Assessor. The members are the Treasurer, the City Engineer, Senro. So, fully supported po ito. And I would suggest...
Secretary, nung pina-stop mo, gusto ko lang pina-revalidate mo yung mga papers. Anong nangyari? Kasi na-release pa rin yung pera eh.
Well, before with the validation, may mga releases na, as I mentioned. Itong mga claims na to, 2007, 2009, hindi po kami nag-initiate nito.
In your time, 2010 until 2016, wala ba kayong na-release na pera para sa road?
No, meron po. As I mentioned, mga 2 billion. 2.2 billion to be exact.
As you revalidated the requirements? After the validation of the requirements?
Meron po kaming na-release noong tail end of 2010, some in 2011. We stopped in 2012. Nagpatuloy na lang uli kami after.
Yes, kasi darating tayo dyan. Marami akong mga katanungan, but before you continue, I would like to acknowledge Senator Ping Lacson for...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Point of information, as a matter of fact, there's a memorandum for Secretary Singson here dated 25 January 2011 coming from Jaime Pacanan. This is the Undersecretary. Is he here? Wala. Undersecretary for Support Services and Chairman Central IROW Committee. In fact, maliwanag po dito na ang basis ng memorandum niya is a handwritten note ni Secretary Singson. Could you please have these claims verified before I forward to DBM? Ang amount na involved dito is 619 million, 69,214.82. No? And maliwanag dito, meron ding red flag. Naka-red flag na eh because on page 2, nakasabi rito, a thorough evaluation of all, naka-underscore pa yung all, ROW claims in Region 12 be immediately conducted in light of the following observations. Letter A, that the copies of the TCDs reportedly under the name of the claimants identified under items A to F in the preceding page hereof bore the notation that subject lots are national highways. This is the case, therefore, subject lots are beyond the commerce of man that have been paid by the regional office. Ibig sabihin, binayaran na. And this is dated January 2011. Note, it must be noticed that consistently, the years, ROW payments for Region 12 comprise 60%. Talagang unusual. And that could be the reason why si Secretary Singson ordered a re-evaluation, revalidation, and ordered the stoppage of the payments, no? Stopping of the payments of ROW in 12. My question is, may mga nabayaran pa rin after 2012, as admitted by Secretary Singson, and have documents here to show that certification issued on May 5, 2014, requested by Ezekiel Ramos. Who is Yes, Mr. Katapang, if you... Attorney
Plabiano po.
Who is Attorney Plabiano?
From General Santos City.
DPWH. Ezekiel Ramos, siya yung nag-request kay Leonardo Dinopol, City Assessor, Office of the City Assessor of General Santos City, certifying that the following are not registered owners of any real property in the city. And their names here. So if they are not owners of real estate or real properties in the city, how could they be claimants?
Nga po yung tema, sir.
I would like to address that to DPWH. No? Kung merong certification na hindi naman sila landowner, kasi city assessor nito, alam niya kung sino yung mga landowners, then why pay them? And then, certification issued on June 14, yung nauna May 5, 2014. Ito, June 14, 2016. Again, requested by Ezekiel Ramos and issued by Leonardo Dinopol, City Assessor of the Office of the City Assessor, General Santos City, certifying that the following are not registered owners of any real property in the city. And their names here. Ang total nito is, it runs to hundreds. So may I know from DPWH, anybody from DPWH, bakit nakalusot na bayaran po ito? And I premise my question on the document, on the memorandum submitted by Yusek Pakanan, na nire-red flag niya na nga na maraming anomalies doon sa Region 12. That's my question. By the way, Mr. Katapang, before my question is answered, is your knowledge limited only to Region 12 or to General Santos?
Yes, Your Honor. Ano na lang,
Member ka ba ng sindikato?
umpisa po, Your
Kailan ka tumigil mga member ng sindikato?
middle of 2013. May mga threats na po kasi sa akin, Your Honor. Sa
So yun ang ipipresent mo, how the syndicate worked at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So before that, I'd like to have an answer to my question that in spite of all this memorandum and then the certifications, why the DPWH at the time still proceeded in paying the claimants?
Sir Chair, I'd just like to clarify for purposes of facilitating or directing the questions. Under the new DPWH Secretary Villar, we have not made any payments, just to clarify,
Yeah,
in
we know
Region
that
12.
because your submission during the budget deliberation, di ba, we required you to
Yes.
submit to disaggregate ROW payments from the civil works
Yes.
aspect. And we noticed that there are no items
For
in your
region,
submission for Region 12.
Yes.
So talagang nasuspend yung Region
we
12.
suspended. And because we were not given an opportunity to present this, I'd just like to clarify while they're reviewing their documents. But just to clarify, former DPWH Secretary Singson keeps citing Department Order 34 because that was the applicable department order for processing right-of-way claims starting 2007 up until early part of 2017. In May 2017, we issued Department Order 65 because personally, this was my experience as well. When I came in as Undersecretary for Legal Affairs, I became the highest ranking officer that also managed legal service, which started processing right-of-way claims starting 2014 to 2017. But I also saw how impossible it was to verify yung validity ng mga documents because by the time they will reach my desk, talagang bundok-bundok na dokumento containing titles that I've never seen. So even if I spend 24 hours just validating and reading all of the titles, there was no way for me to see kung totoo ba sila or hindi. So based on Department Order 65, we delegated the approving and verifying of the right-of-way claims to those really tied to the projects. And those are the regional directors. That's why we have the Region 12 director here. And for PPP projects, to the PPP director. Kasi sila yung talagang nakakapag-supervise ng project. Sila yung nakakakita kung tama ba yung alignment, kung meron ba talagang mga informal settlers in an area or sino yung claimants. And that is why when it comes to claims po na up to 2013, 2014, we have Director Patrick Gatan here, who used to be the head in terms of approving authority for right-of-way claims. And then from 2014 moving forward up to 2016, Director Zaldivar, who was the approving authority naman under Secretary Singson. And that's why she's going to explain kung paano po nakalusot yung payments ng iba even after all the red flags na rinaise ng retired Undersecretary Pakanan.
Here's another memorandum. Ito mas mind-boggling ito. Kung ako magsususpecha kagad, ano? Memorandum for the Honorable Rogelio Singson submitted by Project Director Patrick Gatan. Andito po kayo, no? Ang sinasabi nyo rito, Phase 2. For Region 12, however, some 130 claims amounting to 4 billion. 130 claims amounting to 4 billion pesos. Hindi po ba? So, hindi ba nakakapagtaka rin na yung mga claimants say, sabihin natin 2,500 claimants represented by 3 people, all with SPAs. Kung ako rin yung magbabayad, magtataka rin ako. Yes, Secretary Singson.
Before you answer, with respect of Senator Lacson, connection that this question, sa pag-review ko ng titulo, para maintindihan, pag-review ko ng titulo, isang tao, dalawang titulo. Ibig bang sabihin, yung lupa niya, hiwa-hiwala yung lupa niya. Pagdating sa unahan, lupa pa rin niya. Pagdaanan ng right of way. Ano ko, pero marami pa akong tanong mamaya about sa date, issuance of title, processing sa mga papers. Marami pa akong dapat katawan. Thank you, Senator Lacson.
I may answer.
Yes, Secretary.
Let me explain the process para maintindihan. I think galing sasabihin din katapang ito. Keep in mind that when we do a road, maraming dadaanan dyan, walang mga titulo. Mga tax declaration or physical presence lang. So, sa isang katerbang listahan na requirement for payment, kaya ba nung magsasaka buuin yung papeles na yon? So, ang nangyayari po, nagkakaroon ng enterprising lawyers or financiers or brokers, whatever you call them, they will approach the farmers. Pwede ngang magbayad na yung sila sa magsasaka. Akin na yung rights mo dyan. Bigyan mo ako ng special power of attorney. Bigyan mo ako ng akong gawin mong attorney. In fact, lalakarin ko lahat yan. Yung binanggit ni Secretary Aguirre, napakaraming papeles noon, napakaraming opisinang pupuntahan, and they will cost money. So meron talagang nag-finance para mapatituluhan yon. Ang pinagbabasihan lang po ng DPWH ay yung may titulo. Wala po kaming kinalaman prior to the titling. sino yung naglakad ng titulo, sino yung binayaran, kung sino man binayaran doon sa DNR, sino binayaran sa Appraisal Committee, sino binayaran sa LRA, hindi po namin alam po.
We have no problem with that kung hindi overpriced. Ang problema, okay, consolidated. Case in point, Sokot, sa South Cotabato. No? Merong dinaan ng kalsada, kabundukan. Ang sinisingil daw, 36 million per hectare. Eh hindi raw mabili ng 50,000 per hectare yung lupa doon. Pagkatapos babayaran natin ng 36 million per hectare.
Precisely, Secretary, Senator, if you don't mind. Dalawa po yung mahalaga sa DPWH. Una, yung pagta-title. Pangalawa, magkano yung just compensation. Kaya po, i-emphasize ko kanina, ang pinagbasihan po namin, hindi kung ano yung gusto, kung ano yung dinetermine ng Provincial or City Appraisal Committee, but we relied on a certified BIR zonal value. Sabi ko nga earlier, kumuha po ako ng right-of-way sa ECTEX, 200 pesos per square meter lang po binayad ko dyan sa Luzon. Eh bakit dito sa Region 12, merong mga 4,500 per square meter? So, that's why I had to stop the process. And I only paid, emphasize, ano yung produce na titulo ng LRA at pangalawa, ano yung accepted zonal value ng BIR. Ngayon, ang tanong, I want to ask the city assessor, kasi ngayon, pwede nang bawiin ng gobyerno dahil pwede niya niyang i-charge ang real estate around that road based on the latest transaction value, which is the zonal value. Tanong natin kung yung ba yung binabayad ng real estate ng mga landowners dun sa palibot.
Secretary Babe's question. I'm just wondering, paano na-anticipate noong sindikato na dadaan ng kalsada kung walang contact sa loob ng DPWH, especially sa planning division? Kasi wala naman nakakaalam yan eh. Ang nakakaalam lang yan, taga DPWH. Gagawin nila, magko-consolidate, mamimili ng lupa, saksakan ng mura, kasi alam na nila beforehand na dadaan yung kalsada roon, yung national highways or national highway.
Tama po yun. Kaya ngayon binabanggit kanina, nagpaparcelyary pa lang, nagtatanong na kung sino yung mga may-ari. So, nagchichismisan na yan, o si ganito ang may-ari niyan, pero hindi niya kayang bayaran yung pagpapatitulo niyan. Appoint nyo si Poncio Pilato as your attorney in fact, siya lalakad, pwede na kayong bayaran.
Si Poncio Pilato na attorney in fact, yun ang may contact sa loob ng DPWH.
Possibly.
It's not only possibly, but it's a fact that meron siyang contact. Kasi ba't siya magkukonsolidate ng lupa, mamumuhunan siya, kung alam niyang walang pakinabang yung lupa at hindi naman dadaanan ng kalsada. So, the reason why, Mr. Chairman, I'm saying this is para to put a stop sa practice na ito, we should bust that syndicate, not only outside of the DPWH, but inside as well. Kasi hindi naman, helpless naman yung kabilang side ng sindikato kung walang contact sa loob ng DPWH. That's my point, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Secretary, yung mga sagot mo, okay yun. Pero para sa akin, hindi approve sa akin ba? Hindi makapasa sa akin dahil especially ako, Tagalagaw ako. Okay. Isang tao, dalawang titulo, nakapangalan, iba-iba ang TCT number. Dalawa ang TCT number, dalawang titulo, isang tao ang pangalan. Pareho ang sukat ng lupa. Ngayon, paano nangyari yon? Ibig sabihin, hiwalay yung lupa niya. At hindi lang iisang titulo yon, isang tao, kundi mahigit sa 5 o 10 na tao. Tagdalawang titulo, pero iba-iba ang TCT. Iba-ibang title. Pero ang address Lagaw. Ako Tagalagaw ako . Wala akong makita na malaking kalsada doon o kasi Tagalagaw ako . Maliit lang ang Lagaw . Tapos ang daming mga titulo na nakapangalan, naka-address sa Lagaw. located in Lagaw. So ito yung pinagtataka ko, bakit na-release pa rin yung pera na bayaran yung mga claimants na hindi ba kayo nagsuspitsa doon sa tagdalaw-dalawang titulo na isang pangalan sa right of way? Can you address Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Chair, I have seen some documents showing that mayroon landowners pare-pareho yung area, the same title number, that time hindi pa raw pala na-upload. There was an explanation given by the LRA or Register of Deeds na nung hindi pa na-upload, wala pa yung A, B, C, D, gano'n na ina-append nila dun sa same title number. Because heirs pala ng original owner yung property. So that explains the same area because they are co-heirs.
Okay, before you release the fund, is there any juditic report for those properties? May pag-ano ba kayo para bago nyo i-release yung pera? Yung payment sa mga claimers?
Per record, Your Honor, that was already certified by the IRO members in their IRO resolution. And they repeatedly even certified when they came to the legal.
My question is, mayroon ba kayong juditic report bago nyo i-release ang fund?
Mr. Chairman, yung paggawa ng parcellary plan, gawa ho ito ng geodetic engineer. Doon ho maipla-plot ho yung lahat ng affected properties. So makikita yung mga katabi, lahat ho yun. And that will be approved by the regional director, kung anong project alignment, ganun ho yung ginagawa.
Kaya ko na itanong kasi taga-Lagaw ako. Ang daming titulo nakapangalan sa Lagaw. Ang Lagaw kaya kong lakarin isang araw eh. Wala pang isang araw. Maliit lang yung Lagaw. Tapos ang daming mga titulo nakapangalan Lagaw, address sa Lagaw. Tapos wala namang ginawang kalsada doon. So yun ang ano ko, kung mayroon kayong juditic report bago nyo ibigay yung payment.
Doon sa mga requirements ho, kasama ho yan, naka-attach ho doon sa billing. Sa voucher, lahat ng requirements, naka-attach ho yung parcellary plan ho doon. Makikita ho doon kung yun ho approved ng regional directors, lahat ho yan.
Mr. Chairman, bago pa tayo sa geodetic, gusto ko we move back a little more, doon sa planning. Kasi diyan nagsisimula eh. Doon nalalaman kung saan dadaan ng kalsada. Kindly, Yusek Karen or Secretary Singson, kindly walk us through ano ang procedure, paano nako-conceptualize yung paggagawa ng kalsada. Sino yung in charge, saan dumadaan, hanggang sa paano pag-approve nito. Pero sino yung talagang office in charge of planning all these things? And what is the process?
Your Honor, during my time, I always requested the regional offices to submit the proposed road projects, national road, or kung may mga convergence programs kami with the Department of Tourism or other agencies, isubmit nila. And then on that basis, tinitignan namin kung alin yung pwedeng pondohan at kung tama yung estimate. It goes to planning. Planning then
Who is the head of planning?
Undersecretary Cabral from that.
Who is the head of planning now?
Same.
Same.
Siya pa rin.
Who was the head of planning before your time? During the time of the Secretary of Dane? Who was the head of planning before Secretary of Dane? Who was the head of planning before the predecessor of Secretary of Dane?
I'm not aware kung but
Yung mga old-timers,
we could-
kindly
we could
answer my
get-
question.
We could provide that information.
Kasi alam nyo, ang balita ko, even among legislators, ang kinakausap naman sa DPWS, hindi naman sekretary. Ang kinakausap yung planning. Lagi. Kinakausap ng contractor, planning. Kinakausap na magkiklaim ng right of way, planning.
Well,
And she's not even here.
Your Honor, kasi dun talaga yung pinanggagalingan. Kung
I
alin
know,
yung
Secretary.
Kung alin yung popondohan.
And, bakit hindi natin inimbita? So I'd like to move, kung magkakaroon ng next hearing, imbitahin naman natin yung planning so we can... I so move, Mr. Chairman. And that's Under Secretary... What's your first name? Kathy Cabral.
Ate Cabral, Your Honor.
Okay, next hearing we will going to invite Kati Cabral.
Mr. Chair,
Next, yes.
may I just add a very relevant information because the name of Mr. Ezekiel Ramos was mentioned as having obtained a certification from a certain Mr. Dinopol. I see documents here which is actually a certification from the Register of Deeds for General Santos City, revoking the earlier certification issued by the Register of Deeds, Attorney Peter Armand Henares, because he issued in favor of Mr. Ezekiel Ramos a certification that the titles listed in that certification are non-existent in the vault. However, subsequently, the same was revoked, was recalled, and was clarified that they are actually in the possession of the Register of Deeds and due for conversion into electronic titles. That earlier certification issued was the one used by a certain investigator Makachor who came to my office and investigated me on those fake titles.
Well, statement of fact, Director Saldivar. I know at least 2 persons na wala talaga silang lupa sa General Santos. Hindi sila landowner. They're both from Cebu. I know them personally. And they're included in the list of those persons certified na hindi talaga landowner. Ano yung nirevoke noong Register of Deeds? Alam ko talaga wala silang... I talked to them. I asked them even. They were told that... I was told that they were contacted by the syndicate to just proceed to General Santos, sign a document, binigyan sila ng pera. So what's the basis of the revocation?
The fact that, according to the certification that I'm holding now, Mr. Chair, the fact that the titles are existing.
Well, I think he didn't know what he was certifying on. Sabi ko nga, kilala ko mismo yung 2 tao na walang lupa sa GenSan. Binigyan lang sila ng pera to sign a document. Siguro SPA yun.
Also, Mr. Chair, for the record, no less than the administrator also issued a certification on the authenticity and genuineness of the certificates of titles affected by the DPWH projects in GenSan, General Santos City. And in addition, when I've learned that Secretary Singson referred the right-of-way claims in Region 12 to the Commission on Audit, Legal Division, for financial and legal audit, I also made verification with COA, and I was informed that per their findings, the General Santos claims are valid. And in fact, that was contained in its audit report dated sometime August 2015.
I can only conclude that's how deeply entrenched the syndicate is in this regard. Kasi yung may certification na nababago pa yung certification just to show legality do sa mga claims. Senator Drilon is recognized.
Yes, just to with so many facts being brought up, just a few facts which I do not want to be forgotten. First, the DPWH paid right-of-way claimants with properly authenticated and revalidated LRA titles. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, there is testimony here. I heard that the syndicate started operating in 2009. From the statements made by Secretary Aguirre, that the syndicate started operating in 2009. So when you came in, Mr. Singson, there were already pending claims which were unpaid or already paid, partially.
There were already partially paid. They were identified even before I came, including how much was the just compensation. Tapos na po yun.
And yan po ay kasama dito sa part of the 4+ billion in Region 12.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, did you
Senator
also...
Dillon, before I forget, kindly submit all the certifications, all these conflicting certifications, kindly submit to the committee.
I will do that, Mr.
Hawak
Chair.
nyo na po ba ngayon?
Meron po ako ngayon.
Pakisubmit nyo lang. Thank you, Senator Dillon.
Now, did I also hear you say that there were payments ordered by the court before your time, or a month into your tenure? Can you clarify?
Yes, Your Honor, there was a writ of mandamus issued by the RTC of General Santos City in August 2010, and then another one in August 2012, precisely directing DPWH to pay the land claimants. And I understand there is a third mandamus issued recently, which maybe Attorney Karen or Undersecretary Karen can verify.
Before we do that, I'll submit to the chair of the committee the possibility of inviting this judge who keeps on issuing orders of mandamus. Baka po mayroon din tayong dapat tingnan doon, baka kasama din siya doon sa mga hindi ka nais-nais na mga transaksyon, because the secretary, the bureaucracy receives an order from the judge ordering payment. So, as Secretary Singson says, this came in August of 2010, barely a few weeks after he assumed office, on the basis of the claims filed in the DPWH. Now, insofar as just compensation is concerned, what is the basis of the payment during your time?
Under our existing rules, you start the offer at zonal. Hindi papayag sa BIR zonal valuation. Kung hindi mo papayag yung may-ari ng zonal, then we go through expropriation. And then it's the court that determines. But there is another system that was adopted and which is also allowed under existing rules. And that is the creation of a appraisal committee. Could be a provincial appraisal committee, the members of which usually would be the provincial assessor, provincial treasurer, provincial engineer, plus some other members. Or in the case of General Santos City, it's a city appraisal committee, the same members, city appraiser, city assessor, city treasurer, city engineer, and some other members. They determine what is the just compensation. Pero in spite of that, hindi po ako pumayag kung yung City Appraisal Committee will recommend a higher than BIR zonal value. Yung BIR zonal value is properly certified by the BIR office na ganito po ang existing zonal value dito sa dinaanan ng kaso.
And in focusing on these particular claims, magkano ang claim at magkano ang binayad ng DPWH per square meter, just in general? Would the... iba-iba, okay.
May 800, may 3,000, based on zonal. The one I was citing earlier, just for appreciation, an appraisal report from the city addressed to the city mayor at Charon. Ang sinasabi po dito, the subject lot near that area is 3,000 pesos per square. Ang sinuggest po nung appraisal committee is bayaran ng 3,872. Now, if we refer back, ano ba yung talagang tama? Ang sinusunod lang po namin kung ano yung sinertify ng BIR na zonal value for that area.
Basis of your payment,
It's all zonal or lower.
zonal or
Lower.
what is lower?
Kasi kung minsan yung appraisal committee naman nagsasuggest na mas mababa sa BIR zonal value, yun ang sinusunod po namin.
So the recommendation of the BIR committee or the appraiser committee, whichever is lower, is the
That's
basis of your payment.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Um,
In fact, as I mentioned
Yes.
earlier, nanghingi pa kami ng mga waivers of rights from the claimants who were expecting a higher amount. Dahil some of them had already received partial payment on a higher amount. Pinababa po namin yun after the 2012 suspension of payment.
see, I have other questions later, but I'll give an opportunity.
Senator
to
Bamakin is recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, maraming salamat. Let me ask Yusek Jimeno, as a matter of policy, no? So far, nasuspend yun na po yung pagbayad sa mga claimants. And I think one basic issue here is the payment of DPWH to these so-called consolidators, no? Mga abogado, in some cases, probably dummies in other cases. You can actually make a policy decision. Nababayaran nyo lang yung talagang may-ari ng lupa na matagal na, for example. Of course, ibig sabihin yan, libo-libo talaga yung kailangan yung kausapin, which is probably, yun rin naman siguro yung tamang proseso, no? Have you made a determination on not entertaining these so-called consolidators or dummies to begin with?
Mr. Chairman, I think by law, we're really not supposed to entertain any dummies because in the first place, the reason why we also can't make a policy decision to exclude special powers of attorney because it is allowed by law. It is part of our civil code in terms of under agencies and partnerships, specifically that branch of law. But in terms of validating the claims, that's why historically we had DO 34 when we first when I first started with DPWH. But as Undersecretary for Legal Affairs, I also saw the flaw in the system, that the approving authority when it comes to the central office, and then later on, the endorsement comes from, at that time, because I became the Undersecretary for Legal Affairs, it would be from me to the Secretary of the DPWH. But because we were not part of the transaction historically, which was the same scenario that former Secretary Singson found himself in, na you're there to approve claims na minana mo na from previous secretaries, and then you're supposed to rely on all the endorsements of all the people in the bureaucracy based on the hierarchy. It's humanly impossible. So that is why I proposed to our secretary at the time to come up with a department order that delegates the approving authority to each of the higher authorities that are tied to the project. So in this case, pagka-regional director, depending on the regions, and then the PPP director for PPP projects. And we have a task force. So in terms of the requirements, land ownership is one of the proof that is required. But if you have a special power of attorney, because there are instances also na yung owner po ng property either matandang-matanda na, may sakit, so they have a special power of attorney. Or if you have heirs who have not settled the estate yet, they tend to have a special power of attorney while the settlement of the estate is ongoing.
Okay. So let me clarify. So yung pagkakaroon ng special powers of attorney, you allow dealing with people with SPAs?
Yes, because
Okay.
it has basis in law.
It has basis in law. The question is, kung yung may mga SPA, meron ba silang kadil sa loob ng DPWH dun sa tinutukoy ni Senator Lacson na parang speculation on land value? That's illegal, no?
Yes,
That's illegal. So, yung pagkakaroon ng SPA, hindi po yun illegal, pero kung yung mga may SPA ay may mga kakonsyaba sa loob, yun po illegal yun. Okay.
Yes.
Now, of course, if you really want to solve this problem moving forward, you can simply say, no SPA. Can you do that? O
I think,
kaya nyo bang gawin yun
Yeah.
as a policy na kapag o masyado bang komplikado yun?
I think, Mr. Chairman, that blanket prohibition is not only impractical, it would also be unfair for those who need SPAs
SPA.
talaga. Like, for instance, as I've mentioned earlier, as an example, landowners who are very old, incapacitated, physically
Okay,
incapacitated,
so
or may
in
heirs.
short,
Senator Aquino,
yes.
very quickly. Pero dapat magtaka rin kayo kung 3 tao lang lagi may SPA.
Mr. Chairman, that's a very good point. In fact, just to give you, I'd like to also quote here, nung July 2017, I received a memo from our regional director for Region 12, si R.D. Ibrahim. He pointed to several indicators ng fraud or what makes validation. Kasi by then, we already had Department Order 65, which meant siya na yung approving authority for the payment of right-of-way claims. And he raised certain concerns sa Region 12. And among them, he raised na, I'm going to look for the memo here, but okay, so here, this was dated July 2017, July 3, 2017, and among the problems that he raised were irregular manner of revocation of special power of attorney and substitution or delegation of new authority to second persons. And I think for those on the ground, which is precisely the point why we really need to delegate dun sa mga nasa regions talaga. But even then, yung mga nandun on the ground, na malapit sa projects, they found yung mga irregularities like this na mga SPAs na mukhang illegitimately obtained. So, I think what we can do, kasi because we saw this memo from R.D. Ibrahim, what happened was, one, we created a special task force to validate the claims in Region 12. But even then, we started getting more and more reports of fraud in that area. And even R.D. Ibrahim later on told us na kahit daw mag-special task force doon, feeling niya mathithreaten lang yung mga ipapadalang mga tao doon. That's why what happened was later on, we suspended the payment of all claims and then pinanegate pa namin yung funds. That is why Region 12 returned lahat ng funds for right-of-way payments to the central office. Kaya hawak pa po namin lahat ng pera for those claims. And in fact, one of our lawyers in central office raised to me a concern na because partially paid na yung ibang Region 12 claims, including those in General Santos City, baka naman daw kami yung issue, yung DPWH, for breach of contract kasi partially paid na, which means it's like saying na validated na yung claims na yan, bakit ayaw nyo nang ituloy yung pagbayad? But it was because we were getting several warnings and red flags and reports of fraud.
Okay.
So,
And in short, yan yung sinasabi ni Secretary Singson na mandamus, no? That the court is already telling you, ituloy nyo na yung bayad. Now, going back to my earlier point, yung dealing with people with SPAs, no? Kasi obviously, yung 112 na taong yan, they're not really the original owners of that land. Hindi naman talaga sila. I think it's pretty clear. Kasi grabing laking lupa naman yung magpag-may-ari nila. Kung 112 lang sila, dun sa napakaraming lupain na yan. I think we can safely assume, yung karamihan po dyan, mga nag-SPA yan, special power of attorney, or they represent a set number of true landowners. My question is, yung due diligence ho ba ng DPWH goes to the next layer, yung ginagawa nyo pong investigasyon, kung totoo nga na yung mga totoong may-ari o yung may-ari ho noon or maybe may-ari pa rin sila nung lupa, if they are really in partnership with that person. Kasi kumbaga ho, kung coerced yung SPA or hindi ho in-explain ng maayos, then obviously may fraud ho na nangyari dyan. My question is Region 12 currently And sabi nyo nga, it's dependent now on the regional office. Are they going the next step and going beyond itong 112 na tao? Check talaga nila, sino ba talaga yung nakatira dyan? Sino yung may-ari ng mga lupang yan? Are you doing that now?
I'll answer from a policy perspective. So, based on not only Department Order 65, but also we have right now a recently issued Department DPWH right-of-way acquisition manual. It's very voluminous, makapal po siya, because it names all of the requirements in order to pay right-of-way claims. When it comes to, for instance, SPAs, there are requirements under the law as to what constitutes a valid SPA. So it has to be notarized, it has to comply with the requirements of an SPA. But I think following also jurisprudence, in terms of when you're the validating authority, when you receive, even if it looks like a valid SPA, if you have knowledge of other circumstances which would lead you to suspect any fraud, then you have the duty to also investigate.
Yes.
So I think
So ginagawa nyo yan ngayon?
Okay, I have to qualify my answer because it's not the scope of my function to do that.
Maybe
But
we can ask
because
RD.
it's the RD, I think.
Oh, RD, if I may ask, no? So, sa pagkakalam ko po, my understanding is merong task force na binuo ang DPWH currently para i-check po ulit lahat ng mga titulong ito. Is that correct?
Your Honors, actually, that is what we are following now.
Okay. Are you going the next level apart from the 112 na claimants ho natin for the 2 billion or so? Check nyo po ba kung sino, kung sila po ay representative, whether legally or not, no? Ng iba pang mga may-ari ng lupa? Check nyo po ba yun?
Yes po, pero as of the moment, we suspend the processing of all this because of this pending issue.
Well, palagi ko po baliktad, no? Baka ho yung investigation ninyo, yung makatulong po sa hearings ho natin tsaka sa investigation ng DOJ. Kasi, I guess yung tanong ho dyan, were these SPAs illegally obtained or not? Yung totoo po bang may-ari ng lupa ay kinuwers o finorce na pumurma ng mga SPA? I guess that's the first question. Second question is kung sila ba ay may, ito yung tanong naman ni Senator Lacson, kung may kakonsyaba sa loob dun sa ibang mga member ng DPWH, no? But let me first begin with yung mga 112 pong yon. I guess we can assume, RD, na they represent or they should be representing more individuals. Kasi hindi ko rin maisip na 112 lang yung may-ari ng lahat ng lupang yun, ano? So, tama ho ba yung assessment na yon, RD?
In my case, Your Honors, ang ginagawa ko nga, I really have to personally check the owners of all these properties before I will...
May nakausap ka na ba dun sa 112 na claimants?
Wala pa po, kasi hindi pa kami nagpa-process ng succeeding payments.
Okay, pero balak niyo po silang kausapin?
Supposed to be, that is to be subjected on our new task force, jointly with the task force to be created by the department.
Okay. So, Yusek, nabuo na ba yung task force formally o plano pa lang yan?
It was formed, but because we were also told that it would be ineffective to use the task force. In fact, I even have the message trail. The day before the task force was already yung mga galing po sa central office na pupunta ng General Santos to conduct the revalidation. They were even following up with me na tutuloy pa ba kami because the Region 12 has been coordinating with us, they've made arrangements, and then I told them, hindi na tuloy because we were at that time already coming up with a different solution for Region 12 in light of all the reports, and that is for us to require, as a matter of policy, judicial determination for all claims related to Region 12.
Judicial determination? Meron ng mandamus eh.
That's different, Mr.
No.
Chairman, because the mandamus also only relates to claims that were filed by certain claimants, meaning those who only filed a petition for mandamus in the RTC of GenSan would be covered, but there were so many other outstanding claims in GenSan and the rest of Region 12 that were also part of reports that we received that were related to fraud.
Sorry, very quick question. Yung mga proyekto pong ito, tapos na po ba yung mga proyektong ito?
may mix po. Pag sinabi namin outstanding claims, tapos na po yun. But,
Okay. So these roads have been completed already. Tapos na po yung mga proyektong ito.
dapat, yes.
Yes.
That's why, kasi that's the only way that they would be an outstanding right-of-way claim.
Kung
na-
tapos na yung proyekto. So these projects
Or-
are already completed. Kailangan yung bayaran yung totoong may-ari nito. Yung humarap po sa inyo at yung merong titulo ay 112 na tao. At mukhang lumalabas, although hindi rin tayo sigurado, na they just represent other people who may have owned the land previously. Is that correct in your estimation? Tama ho ba yung logic na yun so far?
Mr. Chairman, when it relates to these mga claimants na kukonti lang yung may hawak na SPA, I think our Director
Yes,
Zaldivar
Director
will be able
Zaldivar,
to shed
please-
light. Kasi
please
sila
answer.
po yung nag-partial.
Tama po ba yung logic na yun na may mga kailangan bayaran pero yung umaharap sa inyo at yung merong totoong titulo ay probably consolidator lang sila ng mga totoong may-ari ng lupa?
Mr. Chair, as part of the due diligence that the legal service had exercised before it recommended funding or payment, I myself called up the cashier of the regional office, Region 12, asking them how they do the release of payments. They told me, the one whom I talked with, I just could not recall the name, but a lady, initially, even before payment was released, dun sa unang releases, they asked the landowners to appear in the office along with their attorneys in fact, with their corresponding IDs and the ID of the attorney in fact, and side by side, their pictures were taken. Truckloads nga daw po sila eh. So, upon that representation, at least I was given the confidence that not only are we exercising due diligence in going over the documents, but also in ensuring that payments will just go to the landowners, or if ever meron ng attorneys in fact their share or kung ano pa yung natitira na dapat ibibigay sa kanila ay matatanggap nila.
Okay, so sinasabi nyo ho na yung nire-represent nila, kasama naman ho nila nung nangolekta sila.
Yes sir, yan po ang representation
Okay,
sa akin
well,
ng cashier.
I guess, Yusek, it really boils down to a policy decision eh. Are we allowing yung gantong klaseng pamamalakad? My understanding is that ito talaga yung pamamalakad sa DPWH, that you allow dealings with consolidators. No? Now, maybe some of us here feel na it's not the right practice. No? And if so, ano ho yung policy decision? Because you can actually make a policy decision. We will only pay whatever, kung ano man. Will you be considering that or will you be looking at that, Yusek Jimeno?
Mr. Chairman, I think that's worth looking into. At the moment, because of the problems we encountered with Region 12, we have a draft department order that is ready for the Secretary's signature that requires judicial determination for Region 12 claims because not only is it difficult to verify, but also we've received reports from our regional director for Region 12 that there are physical security threats to people who validate claims. So it's not just an issue of how foolproof your requirements are on paper. It's also an issue of security and talagang threat to also life. In fact, I'm sure Mr. Katapang will share more. But when during my first month pa lang po sa DPWH, nakatanggap na ako ng anonymous letter noon that there was an attempt to kill one of the whistleblowers daw dito sa right-of-way scam, and in fact, the person riding the car with him died. And at that time, I even thought, like, dapat hindi mabasa to ng parents ko or else pa, they'll make me resign from DPWH right away. But it's that serious po. Merong mga issues on bodily and also talagang life and death situation.
Okay, thank you,
po.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, at this point, I think there was a suggestion earlier made by Secretary Aguirre that we hear Mr. Katapang. I think it's worth listening to him because after all, yan naman na nag-trigger nitong investigation, itong inquiry na ito in aid of legislation. So, maybe hear from Roberto Katapang Jr. para we will also be properly informed as to how the syndicate works and their connections in so many different government agencies.
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Before Senator Drilon ask a question,
Does Mr. Katapang have a sworn statement? So that was what. Meron ho ba kayong sinumpang sa laysay, Mr. Katapang?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can we have a copy? So, para po pag-testify mo, mas madali natin masundan.
yes, Secretary Aguirre.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your Honors, before we hear the witness, Mr. Katapang, I would like to inform the chairman and the members of the committee and the senators present that the witness was already provisionally admitted to the WPP, or the Witness Protection Program, last October 24, 2017. Under Section 12 of the WPP law, he shall be entitled to immunity from criminal prosecution for the offenses in which his testimony will be given or used, including any testimony to be given before this Senate investigation, Your Honor.
Immunity, I think we refer to the Blue Ribbon Committee because the Blue Ribbon Committee is the primary committee of this issue. The Public Works is the secondary committee, and my suggestion is we refer to the primary committee, so we cannot decide the secondary.
I just mentioned, Mr. Chair, that said, or gave the said information in order to apprise the members of this committee of that the witness has already been given admitted provisionally under the WPP program.
Just a question on the Secretary on that point. Secretary said provisionally admitted. Which authority can revoke that provisional admission?
Your Honor, actually, all the witnesses, until the case has been filed before the proper court, are classified as provisional. So, as before the case, if any case has been filed before any court, Your Honor, the classification, description of the immunity given to the witness is provisional in nature.
Okay, just thank you, Mr.
In other words, Mr. Secretary, only the court can order the discharge of any witness as a state witness. It's not within the authority of the Secretary of Justice.
No, Your Honor. Actually, under the Section 12 of the WPP law, the court is bound by the admission
Mr.
of
Secretary,
the WPP.
To discharge the witness.
He is not even to be discharged. He will not even be included in the charges against the perpetrators, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Drilon.
Mr. Chairman, this involves an anti-graft case. Is that correct, Mr. Secretary?
That's correct, Your Honor.
The authority who will determine whether probable cause exists and whether Mr. Katapang is a witness that qualifies as a state witness would be with the Ombudsman ultimately.
That's correct, or the Sandiganbayan, Your Honor.
Yes, not necessarily. So that's why I was asking provisional admission, because then when it goes before the Ombudsman and the Sandigan, they have also, these two offices would have the authority to determine the eligibility of Mr. Katapang in the WPP, just as matter of theory.
That is not exactly correct, Your Honor.
Bakit?
Because once we've declared a witness under the WPP program, whichever court, whether the RTC, the Ombudsman, or the Sandiganbayan, it will be bound, Your Honor, please, by the declaration of the WPP. In other words, if this case is filed by the Ombudsman before the Sandigan Bayan. The Sandigan Bayan is duty-bound to respect the admission of the witness.
And that becomes irrevocable?
That's correct, Your Honor.
What if he reneges on his commitment to act as a witness in
That
this
will be
particular case?
That will be a different story, Your Honor. Then we could revoke the...
That's my question. That can be revoked
That's
if
right,
he
Your Honor.
reneges.
But once, as long as it is not revoked, any court on which his testimony will be filed, he will be he will not be included in the in the charge or information, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman? Yes. The good secretary cited Section 12 of the PP. And I was the first one who implemented this WPP, so I have working knowledge of this. Under Section 12, the certification of admission into the program by the, if the secretary can please, okay. I'm reading Section 12 for the record. Section 12, which was cited by your, by the secretary. Section 12, effect of admission of a state witness into the program. The certification of admission into the program by the Department of Justice shall be given full faith and credit by the provincial or city prosecutor, who is required not to include the witness in a criminal complaint or information, and if included therein, to petition the court to discharge in order that he can be utilized as a state witness. The court shall order the discharge and exclusion of the said accused from the information. So that's and then it says admission into the program shall entitle such state witness to immunity from criminal prosecution for the offense or offenses in which his testimony will be given or used, and all the rights and benefits provided under Section 8 thereof. That's the whole provision, and let's leave it at that, Mr. Secretary, as the legal conclusions ultimately will be left for the court. We are here in aid of legislation to find out how we can remedy these anomalies that you have exposed in the press. So let us leave that matter of the admissibility of the testimony in another proceeding, because that involves a legal issue which is not the place to debate at this point. So that is our appeal to the Secretary. Let the witness testify, because the matter of his being a witness, his being here is a witness, is in order.
We have no objection to that, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. But I just took the initiative to inform this honorable committee of the classification of the witness as having been put under the provisional admission of the Witness Protection Program.
Thank you, Mr.
But before
Secretary.
the witness, can I just ask one question which
Yes,
is hanging? Since this is investigation in aid of legislation, obviously, the SPAs is a source of corruption. Nangyari lahat ito dahil sa mga sinasabi nga ni...
It's a means of corruption.
Mr. Katapang, kasama siya sa sindikato. At ang sindikato, ang principal na ginagamit, SPA. Ngayon, what policy direction can Undersecretary Jimenez, can Secretary Singson give this committee in order that we can, at the very least, minimize the use of SPAs as a means of corruption, so that nasasabit po yung walang kabalay-malay na Secretary Singson, nasasabit dito sa mga ganitong kagagawan. What is the policy direction that you can suggest which could or may not be included in the remedial legislation in order to limit the SPAs? Secretary Singson.
Thank you, Senator John. I did consider at one point not respecting SPAs.
Not respecting SPAs.
But I was already told na under existing laws, hindi mo pwedeng hindi pagbawalin.
Pwede po yan. I dispute that.
Anyway,
sige.
So sabi ko, who else can comply with all of the documentary requirements for up to the titling. Now, pwedeng akuin ng DPWH yun. In other words, ang DPWH, ang kakausap mismo dun sa landowner, sila ay magpapatitulo, which in fact is already in the new or the revised right-of-way. Dapat akuin na ng DPWH yung pagpapatitulo. Dahil yun yung pinapasukan ng SPA eh. No? So, between two government agencies, dapat wala nang in-between.
Yes.
From the landowner, titling, LRA, submission to DPWH, yun ang pagbasihan ng bayaran. Walang SPA, walang go-between. Now, ang problema dyan, how do you establish now, bawa, namatay na yung may hawak ng original title, may mga herederos or heirs, no? So, somebody has to work with them, determine and come up with, again, SPA, kung sino yung kakausapin ng mga pamilya, no? So, to me, the only possibility is let the government handle the titling. Kasi nandoon yung problema.
Okay. Just on you made 2 points. Number one, that you are bound by the SPA. No. The government is not bound by the SPA because you have the right to require na kausapin nyo yung registered landowner mismo or yung may in possession through tax decks, etc. You are not bound to honor SPAs. That's point number one.
Yeah, Your Honor,
But, yes.
just very quick. In fact, that's what we did in the first payment. Pinapapunta po namin dito na lang nagrereklamo dahil yung iba matatanda na, they have to be billeted at Manila Hotel, it costs them money, sinong popondo sa kanila? So again, may financier na naman silang kukuhanin for them to be able to
Well,
come.
yes, but that's a procedural matter. You can send your DPWH official to Region 12 and make the payments there. These are consolidators. Technically, consolidators are not illegal. Except that pinapasukan ng mga sindikato, kagaya ni sinasabi din sa Katapang, kasama sa sindikato hanggang 2013, pag pinasukan ka ng sindikato, for any transaction, not necessarily through an SPA, talagang masasabit ka as we have seen. That is why I was asking the question, what can be done? Now, first, I dispute the proposition that the government is bound by the SPA. The government is not bound by the SPA. Number two, about the matter of the difficulty of people, of the poor claimants to document their claims. Well, yes, we have proposed the DPWH or the Public Attorney's Office under Secretary Aguirre can also provide that service because that's precisely what they are there for, to provide the legal services to the needy. So in other words, it is not as if it is an impossible situation to correct.
I
Yes.
fully agree.
Yes.
Fully agree.
Attorney Jimenez, I just want this point before we go to Mr. Katapang.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask the committee and our legislators to pass the necessary laws where we would need the legislators at the most. When it comes to verifying, one, on the point of the SPAs, I think it cannot be excluded absolutely because when it comes to the laws that allow for SPAs, there are, by law, certain circumstances which allow for the issuances of an SPA. And that's for those instances where it's really needed. And my point is that we can still guard against fraudulent SPAs by revising the requirements of when we will allow the payment of right-of-way. And that would mean also investigating special powers of attorney. But that does not need legislation. But my point is, in order to improve yung processing ng right-of-way, I think what we really need is strengthening the institution, meaning we really need more people in DPWH or perhaps in PAO if we are to pass on also part of the responsibility. But just to give the committee an insight, when we passed Department Order 65, which I think to a certain extent also solves the problem of the inability to verify with accuracy those claims, even with the regions who are closer to the projects, they started complaining that they don't have enough people. We only have one lawyer per region. That's not even talking about the district engineering offices that also implement projects. And even in the central office, we only have around 15 lawyer plantilla positions. And we're supposed to take care of thousands of projects all over the Philippines. So, but by law, we don't have enough people. Wala kami ipapangsweldo, wala man lang kami pwedeng i-hire because there are no plantilla positions. So we have to rely on job orders. But that's not even enough in terms of capacity building because the people we train tend to also leave because they're only contractual. Job orders even suffer from delayed payment of salaries. So I think when it comes to strengthening the institution, we can have more people that have the accountability to really process and they can document. They can be the people that are at least DPWH or covered. They will be covered by civil service rules, which means they would have accountability. Pero tao talaga sila ng gobyerno and they can go to the ground and validate. At least when there's also fraudulent claims na nakakalusot, they have accountability in terms of anti-graft and corrupt laws. But at the moment, that's difficult because we're asking very few people to validate. That's why ang nakakapag-volunteer din sa landowners are syndicates or those who have no ties then to the government. And I think that's one of the ways that we can solve this. That's one start, but that requires legislation.
Well, I was going to endorse your proposal for judicial determination for Region 12, but you're saying that it may not be also that effective because you would still need personnel, etc. But, you know, your concept of having a judicial determination of the validity of, for Region 12, may be a way, something that the department should seriously consider, if only to stop these fraudulent claims that you made today, not necessarily addressing the issue of the SPA, but the anomalies that you are unearthing in Region 12.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think that's a very good idea because when it comes to judicial determination, at least the court has the power to subpoena documents and also everything that's submitted would be under oath or authenticated, and there would be also the possibility of perjury in case there are false claims that are made in court, which would lead to another criminal case to be filed against people who submit false documents or make false statements. And since we're on that topic, I think one thing that would also help nationwide would be to have right-of-way courts, devoted right-of-way courts, so that when it comes to also appraising property, we can have judges who really would have the special skills to determine yung proper valuation.
Would that require legislation, Attorney Jimeno?
No, not necessarily, Mr. Chairman. I think that can be done by the Supreme Court.
By?
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court. But, you know, the Supreme Court is like it takes 1,000 years from an idea which starts from the tail of a dinosaur to its head. Ang tagal bago. So, anyway, so you are not prepared to suggest any legislation that can help you address the problem in Region 12?
I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, by legislation, since it would really be a shortcut in terms of capacitating the DPWH, we can come up with an effective task force that would be interagency. And by legislation, we can also allocate the necessary funds to hire people as members of the task force that are really part of the government, which means they will be accountable also to the government. So I think that's something that can be solved, that I am formally proposing to this committee.
Ironically, Senator Lacson has pointed to a pool of funds in DPWH which can be used to hire these lawyers. And these are the funds allocated for projects where there are right-of-way questions. But Senator Lacson, for all his good intentions, was overruled in the BICAM. So at least you pointed to us that maybe one remedy is to provide more funds so that there can be more personnel for the DPWH who will be tasked and who will be responsible for validating these right-of-way claims. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and we're now prepared to listen to Mr. Katapang.
Thank you, Senator Drilon, and may we now hear from the witness. But before that, may lawyer ka ba? Mr. Katapang, may lawyer ka ba? Sama.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ano pangalan ng lawyer mo? Can you...
Attorney Tutsi Binipayo.
ano?
Lourdes Binipayo.
Lourdes
Binipayo.
Benny Payo.
Yes, thank you.
Binipayo.
Can you speak closer to the microphone so that the committee can hear you better?
Binipayo.
Binipayo.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Proceed. Go ahead, Mr. Katapang.
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, pwede pa ba kami mag-present ng PowerPoint para makita kung paano nag-operate yung syndicate?
Sige.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honors, alam naman po natin na ang DPWH gumagawa ng mga national highways, roads, at sila din na nag-aasikaso ng mga just compensation ng mga pribadong tao na naapektuhan sa paggawa ng roads. Ang leader po ng sindikato ay sina Nelson T. at saka si Wilma Mamburam. Bali pinipeke po ang mga titulo.
Bago ka mag-proceed, taga saan itong mga ito? GenSan o Manila?
Hindi po, Your Honor, taga Manila po.
Taga Manila ito.
Yes, Your Honor. I think Nelson T. is from Green Hills and Wilma Mamburam is from Pasig City.
Pasig City?
Yes, Your Honor.
Itong Nelson T, taga saan?
I think from Green Hills.
San Juan.
Yes, San Juan.
Kasi karamihan ng titulo na nare-review ko, Pasig or Makati.
Nilagay lang po yun doon, Your Honor, na address.
Okay.
Kunyari
Okay,
lang po.
go ahead.
Next slide, please. These bogus RO claims were duly certified and approved by DPWH despite glaring irregularities in the procedure and documentary requirements. Key government officials and personnel were involved to ensure that these fraudulent claims are processed. The average of each the average amount of each bogus claim is almost more or less 20 million pesos since 29 million pesos, sorry, Your Honor. Since 2009, the syndicate processed several bogus claims and received payments amounting to 8.7 more or less. Nelson T. is the financier of the syndicate. Nag-provide ng fictitious names para magamit na as landowner sa title. Sila dalawa ni Wilma actually yan. Nag-provide ng names para ilagay sa titulo. Pati yung addresses na ilalagay sa titulo.
Sa statement mo kanina, sabi mo kasama kanila.
Yes, kasi ako ang go-between ni Wilma at saka yung grupo na gumagawa ng mga fake title at saka mga fake documents.
Okay, just to make sure.
Sa umpisa sa akin, dinadaan ni Wilma yung mga pangalan, address, ganyan.
So
Budget na
magkasama
ibigay.
talaga kayo, magkasama kayo.
Kasi, opo, Your Honor. Kasi may right of claim din ako noon eh. Sa kanila ako lumapit. Kaya
Okay.
nung nakilala
Sige.
kami, yan po ang mga nila, mga SPA nila na ginamit, na mga relative ang iba dyan ni Wilma Mamburam. Yung iba dyan, ang isa dyan, si Marisa Sigiri is, pagkakaalam ko, parang kaibigan ni Nelson T. or tao niya, or basta gano'n, nakita ko yan once. And then, yung kay Tudon, yan naman yung naging SPA din ni Dumlao. At saka yung Saraguro. The rest, ano na yan, SPA na yan ni Wilma Mamburam. May time din na nagpipirma ng
Yung mga designated attorneys, in fact.
Yes, Your Honor.
SPA.
Sorry. Sa SPA, yan sila. Yan ang ginamit ng mga tao sa SPA. Si Attorney Estrella Dicena Saldivar, Director, Legal Department, DPWH Main Office, facilitated the approval of bogus AROS claims before the DPWH Central, received commissions from Wilma and Mr. T. Next slide, please. Rinaldo Tamayo, Regional Director, DPWH Region 12, approved the bogus ARO claims, received 20% commissions from Wilma. Engineer Rodel Unos, before si kay Tamayo, una muna si Rodel Unos na ito po siya ang bagman ng Region 12. Lahat ng claims, hindi ka makakapasok doon sa Region 12 kung hindi ka dadaan sa kanya. Kay Rodel Unos. During that time ng namatay na po to si Rodel Unos. Region 12. Si Edgardo Pampanga, ito yung pinaupo lang, nilakad po nila dito sa LRA, si Edgardo Pampanga, para umupo dyan sa ROD GenSan para hawak nila yung ROD GenSan na head ng ROD, si Edgardo Pampanga. Yan siya ang nagpoprotekta na in case may mag-check ng mga title, si Edgar ang magpoprotekta.
Sino nag-facilitate ma-assign siyang OIC doon?
Sila Wilma at saka si Dumlao po ang nagkasikaso.
Thank you.
Si Director Sir Jan Pastrana, point person po yan nila sa LRA, sa computer, kasi ito siya naka-assign. Ito yun siyang kakilala din nila Wilma Mamburam at saka ni Nelson T. May nag-receive din niya ng komisyon sa kanya. Yan. Itong si Leonardo Denopol, ito po siya nag-issue ng mga tax deck, mga around 50 tax deck, kasi parang tinatago na nila noong 2016, baka mahuli na sila. Ang ginawa nila, nagpa-issue sila ng tax deck kay Denopol around 50 tax decks. Para kung anong, kasi yung time na yun, sa loob ng 50 tax deck, yun yung sine-check ng mga pangalan. Kaya pinasok nila, para in case may mag-check, makikita may tax deck siya. Pero 2016 yun ang nabayaran since 2011. Kaya, next slide, ito yung chart ng members of the syndicate. Nelson T. Wilma Mamburam, same level yan sila. Tapos si Colonel Chino Mamburam, yan yung kanilang security protector nila. Tiga-intimidate doon sa Region 12. Sakali may magharang doon ng mga empleyado, dumadating yan siya doon, naka-uniforme, para i-intimidate yung mga empleyado doon nung time na yan. Tapos yung hitman niya si Eldon Olarte. Siya din niya nagpaambo sa akin, sir, si Colonel Chino Mamburam noong September 9, 2015. Namatay po yung kasama ko. At ako po sanang buti na may nagsumbong sa akin na titirahin po nila ako, kaya lumipat ako ng upuan sa likod. Yung security ko po ang nasa harapan, kasi alam nila parati ako sa harapan nakaupo Yun yung tinamaan ka.
Hindi mo malang sinabihan yung security mo?
Pakiramdam ko lang, sir, hindi naman sigurado talaga na, sir, sorry, na 100% na Sinabihan ko siya, sir, kaya lang, naunahan lang kami. Tapos yan nga po, si Sigiri, yan po yung SPA na ni Nelson T. Pagkakaalam ko, kasi once na-meet ko po. Under kay Wilma Mamburam, ito na po yung Paluso Group, ito na po yung gumagawa ng ng mga fake titles, mga documents, nagapirma, anong dapat pirmahan. Yan, ito na po yung si Dumlao. Dati din to sila Dumlao, partner din talaga yan, level nila Nelson T, Wilma Mamburam, yan siya. Kaya lang ito si Dumlao, hinulog din po nila, kinasuhan nila ng qualified theft para magtago, and then para makipag-ayos sa kanila, in-intimidate din po ito ng Colonel Chino, kaya nagtago ito. Si Dumlao ng unang matagal-tagal din, before sila nagkaarigluhan. Ang dami niya po si Guro at saka si Tudon. Yan si Guro, po yan ni Rodel Unos, girlfriend po ni Rodel Unos. Yan si Guro. Yan yung Paluso Group, Hadjiong, yan. Yan po ang, itong Rudy Hadjiong na ito yung magaling sa computer. Yan yung siyang gagawa ng plano para pagkatapos niya gawa ng plano, kaya na gawin ni Ate Belen yung titles. Tapos yung mga SPA dami niya na po. Sila Javier, relative po ito karamihan ni ang ni Wilma ang nasa SPA. Tapos ang itong dating lang to nila nirerentahan na sasakyan para nung dumating doon si Wilma kasi wala siyang sasakyan. Parang rent a car ito na later on naging kasama na rin po nila. Next slide. Ayan po ang personality sa gobyerno na nakatulong para malusot nila yung bogus na claims. Si Ma'am Saldivar po, DPWH Main, Rodel Uno sa Region 12, tapos Tamayo, Region 12, Pampanga, Register of Deeds GenSan, Dinopol Assessors, si Pastrana sa LRA. ICT Department, head yan siya sa computerization. Next slide. Ayan, ipakita ko ang certification na ginawa ni Edgar. Yan, para mapalabas niya lang. Makikita nyo dyan, nandyan ang Julieta Fernandez, mamaya. Ayan, signature ni mga next slide. Yan pa uli. Yan, signature ni Pampanga. Yan. Pampanga. Yan. Ayaw niya kay Sir John Pastrana. Na-inisyo niya na okay lang daw yung dash A na ilagay. Ballpen pa po ang nila ginamit dyan para ilagay ang dash A sa titulo. Kasi nung time na yan, may nag-check na doon na kinuha yung title number ng isang RO claim doon. Ang lumabas, nang kinuha sa ROD, wala silang kaalam-alam kumuha. Yung title number sinubukan. Ang lumabas, yung title number may-ari sa GenSan pero maliit lang na lupa at saka separate pa na barangay. Kaya nung nalaman nila may nag-check ng gano'n, nilagyan nila ng dash A na ballpen. Yung titulo para mapalusot nila. Which is sinuportahan ni Pastrana. Sir John Pastrana. Next slide please. Pakita ko po kung paano nag-ooperate ang sindikato para makakolekta ng just compensation sa DPWH. Next slide, please. Nandyan po ang title number na sinabi ko na may ballpen na dash A, T-112437-A. Ballpen po yan. Yan. Pangalan ni Julieta Fernandez. Itong Julieta Fernandez, kaya kasama nila Wilma ito dati, at saka ni Nelson T. Tao to ni Nelson T. Tama ko, tinanggal nila, nagkaroon daw sila ng problema, inalis nila si Julieta Fernandez na nagamit nila dati sa pangalan. Pwede niyo po yan i-check. Nasa Quezon City po nakatira yan. Julieta. Next. Yan. Yan po ang pinagbilhan raw po ng road right of way na titulo. Balitida 092592. Next slide. Kumuha ako ng certification just to show na talaga wala. Nandyan po sa certification nakalagay. This is certified that transfer TCT certificate of title number T-092592. No records in this registry. Signed by Henares po yan. Yung bagong ROD head sa General Santos City. Kung i-trace back mo siya, wala talagang pinagbilhan. Actually, title. Next slide, please. Yan po, nakakolekta sila. Yan po ang voucher. Nakalagay, Julieta Fernandez. Actually, ito, 29 million ito na partial lang ng 465. Meron din akong voucher pa nito na mabutan ng 50% at saka na-whole na rin full pay na yan. Julieta Fernandez, ang represent sa kanya, Marisa Chongson Segiri dapat. Pero makikita nyo dyan na nagperma is si Wilma Mamburam. Ang SPA si Marisa Chongson Segiri. Pero nagperma si Wilma Mamburam. Ano na yan, sir? Itong time na ito kasi, ano na ito, nagmamadali na. Kasi nakita nyo dyan, meron makuha kagad ang pera, sir. Time na yun sa DPWH. Hindi na mahintay si Sigiri, so siya na nagpirma. Yeah, next. Appraisal committee, appraisal of the property by the appraisal committee. The appraisal committee is the one in charge of assessing and appraising the value of the property, determine the amount of just compensation. Composed of city assessor, head ng ang head niyan si Dinopol ng city assessors. Members, depende sa kanya kung sino tawagin niya ng mga members para mag-meeting sila. Napadala niya ng sulat para mag-meeting. Pero before niya, next slide please, merong requirements for niyan. Mag-letter request yung yung may-ari ng lupa sa sa committee na mag-request siya ng appraisal committee report. Kailangan din doon pag nag-request ka kasama ang land title, ang original certificate of title or transfer certificate of title. Kahit paano may trace back siya dapat. Tapos tax deck, land tax, BR certification, mapping report. Ito mapping report, sa mapping division ng ng assessors, i-check din nila yung area. Gagawaan nila ng report para may submit sila pag meeting ng appraisal committee. Ayan siya. Okay, next slide. The appraisal committee issues appraisal committee report. Sir? The appraisal committee issues appraisal committee report containing, among others, the list of all claimants and the description and appraised value of the properties. Okay. Next slide. Scheme employed by the syndicate. Upon instruction of Wilma, the Paloso Group manufactures fake land titles and documents, including the appraisal committee report, for submission to the DPWH Region 12. Fake land titles are named after relatives of the syndicate members. In order to maintain anonymity in light of the huge volume of claims, the syndicate started using fictitious names in the land title. Ito yung umpisa kasi konti lang pinagawa na title. Kaya nandoon yung mga relative nila Dumlao, relative ni Wilma Mamburam, nandito sa listing. Kita ko mamaya, sir. Sa umpisa, sobrang dami na ng sunod na panagawa. Gusto nila tag-100 na. Actually, ang totoo talaga, sir, umabot ito ng 500 titles ang pinagawa. Kaya lang, ang pasok nila, pumasok na let's say ng 50, 100. And later on, ang ginawa na nagpasok ng 20 para hindi masyado halata ang pagpasok doon sa DPWH. Tapos, armed with fake special power of attorney, syndicate members and their relatives were able to transact and receive just compensation for in behalf of these fictitious claimants and landmats. Ang pangalan nito, sir, ang pagkakaalam ko pangalan ng ng mga dating empleyado nila Wilma or Nelson T. According lang sa pag-uusap namin nila Wilma, yun ang naririnig ko. Kung i-publish natin itong mga pangalan na ito.
So when you say fictitious, not necessarily non-existent.
Yes.
Talaga may taong ganon.
May taong ganon na may pangalan.
Hindi nila alam.
Na may lupa sila doon,
Okay.
na may claim sila doon sa GenSan. Kaya kung i-publish natin ito sa newspaper, sir, magtataka sila na meron silang claim na ganon kalaki doon sa GenSan. Ito yung next slide, please. Yan. Nawa din ito na na ito, pagkakaalam ko nito, hindi talaga to perma ni fake yung signature na yan ni Julieta Fernandez. Kaya mas maganda makita siya para maglabas talaga ang totoo dito. Nag-request letter kay director ng Region 12 about sa kanyang claim.
Anong petsa nung sulat?
October 17, August 17, 2009, Your Honor.
August 17, 2009.
Yes. Pero yan siya, Your Honor. Ginawa yan na parang matagal na siya na nagpa-process kunyari ng kanyang claim para na hindi mahalata. Kaya nilagyan ng mga date ng mga ganon para ma-justify yung yung transaction sa
Yung lahat na to, meron kang personal knowledge since you were a member of that syndicate.
Yes.
And meron kang hand in the facilitation of all these documents.
Lahat po ng utos nila sa akin, na mga papeles, mga ano nandito sa akin, hawak ko.
No, I mean, may personal knowledge ka.
Yes, nakita ko kung paano nila ginagawa.
Okay, sige, thank you.
Kung saan pwede ko ituro.
Yung
Saan
stamp-
hotel nagtatambay, saan ko ituturo ko.
Yung stamp received is also August, ano ba yan? August 19, 2009.
Oh,
Tama po yan? Yung mayroong stamp. Yung itong bilog, yung received.
marami kaming stamp, Your Honor.
Oh, no, ang petsa lang tinatanong ko. August,
Yes, Your Honor.
August
August 19.
2009.
Yung stamp kasi pinapagawa lang yun doon sa ano, sa street namin. Maraming gumagawa ng stamp doon. Tapos yung next slide please. Yan, picture ni ano ni pero ito siya. Sinubukan namin i-check sa BIR, magkaiba yung birth date at saka ano, at saka yung bahay niya dito sa Quezon City, birth date at saka issue date niya magkaiba. Lalo na sa BIR ID. Walang ano. Pati wala din siyang binayaran na gain tax nung time na may lupa siya na ganun sa BIR. Sinubukan namin mag-inquire. Hindi ko po sigurado kung ito yung itsura ni Julieta Fernandez. Next slide please. Ayan yung BIR certification na ginawa lang din. Nanonotice nyo dyan. Ulit tayo. Yan, next slide. Yan, next slide. Kita nyo yan, may handwriting. Yan po ang handwriting ni Wilma kasi kino-correct niya yung araw. Kasi it's Sunday, pinapalitan niya ng 26. Kikita nyo dyan. Ganun lang kabilis kasi ano lang kabilang kwarto lang yan. Si Wilma nagche-check dito sa isang room kung anong mga mali. Nagtatrabaho nandito din sa kabilang room. Magkatabi lang yung room. Nagtatrabaho. Next slide please. Yan. Yan yung date. Sunday. Kaya pinapalitan. Handwriting po yan ni Wilma. Next slide. Fake land tax certificate. Ganun din. Ginawa din ang certification na yan. Handwriting din ni Wilma napalitan ng lot 1C. Yan. Then SPA. Sample ng SPA po. Slide. Sa appraisal report, yan. Lahat po ng perma niyan, fake. Appraisal report. Kahit i-check nyo, kukuha lang tayo ng kahit 10 folder lang sa request na kay RD, Director. Kahit 1 dosena lang, i-check nyo ang appraisal committee report kung magkapareho. Kasi ang ginamit lang niya na kinopya, dalawang klase lang yan na wording, parang explanation. Nagkuha lang yan doon sa assessor. Parang nagkupit, nagbayad. Para makakuha ka ng sample, ipapatong mo na lang yung title number, lot number, yun ang ginagawa doon. Pati yung perma na sample, sinunod na lang para gawin.
Are you taking notes? Take note of all the documents para pag-check nyo sa records ninyo, we can compare.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, I'm also recording.
Thank you.
Hihingi din kami ng kopya itong presentation mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung copy, yung print copy.
Yan, kita nyo, ang tama talaga niyan is 70s kasi sa ibang yan eh. Sa ibang area. Ang basis niya, i-check nyo yan. Ang basis, hindi ko kasi mabasa dito eh. Ang basis niya ng ng 3,800. Pa-check nyo yan doon sa assessors, yung cadastral lot number, ano ba to? Basta merong dyan eh. Later na lang. Pinalitan nyo yung 70s to 90s. Next slide, please. Next slide. Ito na. Ito yung approval by DPWH Region 12. The DPWH Region 12 Office Planning Department evaluates the appraisal committee report and other requirements for the arrow claims. Yan po ang other requirements. Appraisal committee report, SPA, identification card. Itong identification card, mayroon silang high resolution na camera. Yung dumadaan sa highway, nakamotor, napicturan din dyan. Mga taong mga sino lang nagda-drive, mga ganun picturean, ilagay doon sa ID. Yun ang ginawa niyan. Kaya kung sabihin mo na magdala sila ng land owner doon, kunin mo yung picture sa folder. Pareho mo. Dalhin lahat ng land owner, tapos yung picture, i-compare, lalabas pa rin talaga. Nung panahon ni Rodel Unos, nagbigay siya ng ng pre-formed na sa kay Wilma. Kagaya nitong mga TWG, DPWH certification, mga ganito. May pre-form na sa laptop ni Wilma yan. Ita-type niya na lang yung description ng title, land owner, lahat, tas i-print. Tapos may sample sila ng signature pinipermahan. Kasi nakakapagod si Rodel. Ayaw na ni Rodel, sobrang daming pirma. Kaya pinagawa na lang lahat. Para pag-submit doon, kompleto na. From city to region, kompleto na siya. Ang mga papeles. Next slide. And Planning Department recommends approval of the claim to the DPWH Regional Director. DPWH Regional Director approves the claim. DPWH Region 12 forwards the approved claims to DPWH Central for funding. Ayan. Ito ba yung sa scheme?
Pakibalik mo lang yung itong DPWH Region 12 forwards the approved claims to DPWH Central for funding. Doon sa mga dokumentong pinakita mo bago ito, kailan pinadala sa Region 12, sa Central Office? 2009 din, roughly.
Hindi na sa tingin ko ano yan 2010 kasi ang sa list sa ko pagkakaano ko 2011 nag-start ang payments
2011 nag-start ang
yes, Your
payment.
Honor.
So nandun pa rin yung fake claims na duda.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bago pa mabayaran.
Oo.
Ngayon, hindi mo na alam kung kailan binayaran ito.
Meron akong dito.
Kailan binayaran?
May March 8, 2011. May August 2012, yung mandamon sa sinabi ni may 2013, may 2015.
Okay.
Tuloy-tuloy siya.
Magkanong amount nun?
Malalaki, po? Mayroong 89, mayroong
89 million?
Mayroong 89 million, mayroong 100 plus, mayroong 500.
89 million?
No, 89 million yung sa SARO. Nakalagay. Yung, let's say, 10 partial payment.
Partial payment.
Meron pang,
So,
mayroong
ito na nga
200 million.
Ito na nga yung heads up ni Undersecretary Pakanan in his memo to Secretary Singson dated 25 January 2011. Ang tanong ko lang kay Secretary Davis, kanino nyo pinagkatiwala itong, kasi hindi naman sa inyo talaga ito meron kayong pinagkakatiwalaan to attend to all these claims sa ROW.
As I mentioned, Your Honor, merong proseso. It starts at the region. There are two working groups at the region. You have the IRO committee at the region and the regional technical working group. So they work on the validation, they work on making sure that all the requirements are compliant. Yung binabanggit nilang, in fact, even ask them to put them into individual folders per claimant.
Yes, kasi na-notice ko, it is recommended further that releases of ROW payments for these claimants be held in abeyance. So talagang heads up ito
Well, that's why we suspended precisely nung 2012.
But nabayaran noong 2011, sabi ninyo.
Yes, merong SARO dito. 11.
May SARO ng 2011.
Yes.
Mayroon ding nabayaran before 2011.
Wala akong hawak, Your Honor.
Pero mayroon din. Kasi nag-umpisa ito 2009.
Hindi ko masasagot ng
Secretary Singson.
May payments prior to 20.
There were payments prior to 2011. Which are these payments? Attorney Jimeno, would you have the records?
Chairman, I have here the records right of way. Master list of all payments. General Santos right of way. And the record I have here of the first payment was December 7, 2011.
December,
7, 2011.
that's the first payment.
Yes.
Secretary
This-
Singson.
this-
Ay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Just, yeah. Ito lang po.
Yeah, with the indulgence of my colleagues, I don't wish to put you on the spot on this
Meron
issue.
tayong
No?
checkmarks eh.
Pero December 23, 2013, in-endorse niyo po ito kay Secretary Abad in spite of the appearance of the names na na-mention dyan, Fernandez, Julieta, slot number so-and-so, 29,998,500. So, may mga memo, naka-alert na, pero ba't na-endorse nyo pa rin kay Secretary Abad at that time?
Your Honor, that's why I kept saying we relied on what we, again, went through the whole process of revalidating, re-verifying at the LRA General Santos City and then again at the central office to make sure that the titles coming from LRA are authentic. That's all that we had to rely on.
And you relied on officials of Region 12
That's correct.
who themselves were involved in with the syndicate. Yun ang
Well,
problema.
we
Yeah, you didn't know that. You didn't know that.
not
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
again,
Pakicontinue.
if I may add, as mentioned, pati yung dun sa appraisal committees that I have seen, nakapangalan po dun yung payees eh, kung sino yung mga claimants. So, who am I to refute the city assessor na sinasabi niya, ito yung mga claimants, ito yung dapat just compensation niyan. What else?
That's clearly understood, Secretary Singson. During your time, did you also encounter claimants named John Doe?
Bawal ho yun eh.
Kasi ito, sa deliberation namin ng 2018 budget, may sinabit sa amin yung DPWH. So, several John Does, others are named unknown,
Hindi ho pwede yun.
in the amount of 164 million. So, we're trying to isolate yung listahan and we're asking DPWH to kindly explain to us paano mag-i-issue ng cheque si Republic of the Philippines kay John Doe, saka kay unknown.
Hindi ho po pwede yun. In fact, all our requests are covered by specific names and amounts.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I defer to...
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Hindi pa yata tapos si Katapang? Hindi ka pa tapos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Please continue.
Actually, Your Honor, ibalik ko lang po yung 2009. Parang backdate lang, pero napasok po yan ng 2010. Pinasok ng 2010.
2010?
Napasok yan ng 2010, kaya nabayaran ng 2011. Naging umpisa. Pero
Okay.
napasok yan 2010. Ang mga papeles lang po yun ng 2009.
Sige, continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ito po yung scheme employed by the syndicate. Fake documentary requirements are submitted to DPWH Region 12. Even the DPWH resolution approving the claim is being fabricated by the syndicate, as sinabi ko po kanina. The bogus claims should have been easily discovered had the officials and personnel of DPWH Region 12 exercise minimum diligence, like the traceback of the title, examination of approved plan, verification of tax declaration with the city assessor's office. Next slide. Ayan po ang sample ng approved plan. Isipin nyo, sir, OCT ang nakalagay dyan. Dapat, OCT. Pero yung highway, hinati nila ng ilang piraso. Highway lang ang hinati. Walang exist yun siya sa gilid. Yung 60 meter wide lang mismo. Yun lang ang ginawaan ng plano para magawaan lang ng titulo. Yan po, klaro masyado, hinati-hati lang.
So, National Highway yung pinatituluhan.
Yes, Your
Mismo.
Honor. Pero hindi sinunod yung kung may arko man na gano'n ng highway, basta straight lang. Straight lang po siya. Wala siyang topography. Basta diretso lang siya, gano'n, straight, hinati-hati lang kaagad. Uniform siya. Ang size ng titulo, uniform. Lahat. Para mabilis gawin. Kasi kung iba-ibahin mo yun siya, matagal gawin yon. Oh. Yung size niya, mga 2 hectare plus yan, lahat pare-pareho. O plus pare-pareho ang ano niya, appraisal committee report niya. Oh. Pati sa tax deck. Next slide. Alis si Engineer Rodel Unos, Special Agent 2, DPWH Region 12, Planning Department, facilitate, sinabi ko na, these bogus claims in exchange for commission. Rodel serves as the point person and bagman for DPWH Region 12. Nung namatay si Rodel, ang naabutan na yun ni Tamayo, bali si Regional Director Rinaldo S. Tamayo, DPWH Region 12, approves this bogus claim in exchange for commission. According po yan sa pag-uusap namin na Dumlao nila Wilma.
Kailan in-approve ito? 2009 din?
Sir, Your Honor,
Kailan in-approve?
ang
Itong mga, sabi mo?
bogus claims, paputol-putol kasi merong first batch.
Oo.
So, ipakita ko.
Tinatanong lang kita, kailan in-approve? 2009 din in-approve, no?
No, 2010, Your Honor. Kasi nabayaran siya 2011, nag-start ang
Mayroon
payment.
akong
Yan ang pagkakaalam ko, Your Honor.
May mga dokumento ditong sinubmit sa ombudsman. Ang sinasabi, in-approve ito noong 2009, November 19, 2009. Signed by Unos and Busran. Several of these claims, pare-pareho ang wording, approve lahat ni Unos, Busran.
Backdated.
Hindi mo sabing backdated.
Hindi.
2000, November 19, 2009.
Bali, ginawa po talaga Your Honor kasi para pag-submit, pag napasa sa DPWH sa Region 12, sabihin matagal na sila na nagpa-process or 1 year ago, 2 years ago, kaya gina-backdate yung mga papeles.
Alam mo ba ito personally na binabackdate?
Yes, Your Honor, ginagawa talaga yan. Kasi,
Ginagawa talaga ito?
Yeah, sa isang room po, kasi ginagawa lang yan lahat, mga documents. Panahon na lang ni Tamayo na medyo instricto siya, ginagawaan niya na talaga ng sarili niyang endorsement yung mga fake na claims.
Pero may mga dokumento na nagpapakita, 2009 ang approval.
Your Honor?
Ang mga dokumentong ito nagpapakita ng petsa ng approval, 2009.
Palabas lang po yan, Your Honor.
Yun ang sinasabi mo, palabas lang. Ito yung sinasabi ko, yung petsa ng dokumento.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, Your Honor. Kasi, handali lang. Ito yung kasi yung first batch, ito yung sa 2010, 2011, meron akong record. Tapos ang kasunod na 2011 na pinasok, ang listing. At saka yung sinasabi ko na 8.7 million more or less, ito yung napasok na almost 300 plus. 8.7 billion. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Iba yung kay Secretary na explanation, iba yung sa akin. Ito yung sa akin ang listahan. Na napasok talaga yan doon sa Region 12.
That's just for Region 12.
Region
yung
12 lang.
8.7.
May letter pa po ni Tamayo ito. Nagsulat siya sa BIR. Napacheck po niya. DPWH Central Office. DPWH Central Legal Division evaluates the documents submitted by DPWH Region 12 and recommends to the Secretary of the DPWH the approval of the claims for funding. The Secretary of the DPWH requests funds from the Department of Budget and Management. Slide. Scheme employed by the syndicate. Attorney Estrella Dicena Saldivar, Director, Legal Department, DPWH Main Office, facilitates the approval of the bogus claim in exchange for the commission. Dito na po yung sinasabi kanina ni Ma'am Saldivar na nag-check siya doon kay Pastrana. Although estudyante niya si Pastrana, ay pagkakaalam ko eh. Sorry. Bali, ang problema kasi, tuwing mag-check sila, nalalaman agad nila Wilma Mamburam, nila Nelson T. Ewan ko kung bakit. Kaya uunahan na nila yon. Kung ano lang po yung gusto niyang tingnan, i-check niya, yun lang po ang ipapasok. Kasi kung i-check mo ito lahat, wala to doon sa computer. Kung ano lang yung nire-requestan ng budget, yun lang yung pinapasok. Kaya yun po nakita niya, Ma'am. Yan po ang ginawa nito nila Pampanga at saka ni Pastrana. Tapos, next slide. Ito na yung si Tamayo nag-request ng opinion dito sa Central about sa SPA. Kasi yung COA sa Region 12 nag-red flag tungkol sa SPA na disadvantageous daw po sa government. Kaya sumulat po si Tamayo sa Central, nag-request ng opinion kung anong dapat gagawin. Kasi ang cheque nandoon na eh. Si Wilma nagwawala na doon sa Region 12, pati yung kuya niya. Hindi talaga madala ng mga tao doon. Ayaw nila mag-release. Kaya nagpunta dito nag-request ng opinion si Director Tamayo. Kahit ano yun po ang nangyari, ang SPA na-approve pa rin po. Kaya bali may perma po si Estrella Decena Saldivar at saka si Roelia Singson. Na okay ang SPA, i-release ang cheque. Gingi pa nga gawaan nga daw ng policy, sabi ng COA. Ewan ko kung nagawa nilang policy. Paano ang SPA? Next slide. Ito na yung scheme na ginagawa na nila Wilma, at saka nila Chino, at saka nila Sonti. Meron kasing gagawin, kunyari intimidation. Umpisa kasi niyan, mababaw lang. I-intimidate mo yung mga empleyado doon para ibigay nila yung cheque. Nung hindi na po madala, kumuha sila ng order sa court. Pero i-check niyo yung order na yan sa court dahil sa pagkakaalam ko is na-release yung court order, hindi pa nakakasagot ang Region 12 doon sa court. Meron na kaagad silang court order na mandamos. Walang hearing. Na-release yung court order.
Sinong judge nag-release?
Your Honor, si Judge Membesa.
Saan yan? Saan?
RTC doon sa GenSan sa atin.
Judge
Membesa.
Judge Mimpisa.
Pati may mga voucher ako na yung sheriff niya doon, nagpipirma.
Mimbisa.
Sa
Mimbisa,
voucher.
Panambulan.
Voucher. Disbursement voucher ng DPWH na ang sheriff nagpirma din doon. Sa ibaba. Ewan ko, basta nagpirma siya sa baba. Next slide. Approval of budget by the DABM, release of funds to DPWH, main office, release of funds, DPWH Region 12. Checks will be released upon submission of SPA after signing of deed of sale. Yan. Next slide, sample. Yan po ang SARO. Ito pong sample ng SARO, year ito. Kita. Sa 2013 ito. Year 2013. Sa pag-alala ko, pag-request ito ni Secretary, December 23. After 4 days, na-release, na okay yung funds sa DBM, December 27. Ayan siya. 18 titles yan. Napapansin nyo, nandyan si Julieta Fernandez. Yung sinabi ko kanina na trace back, i-check nyo lang, pati yung approved plan, makikita mo sa approved plan, ganon, sa appraisal committee report. Yan po. SARO po yan ng 2013. Ano po yan? Almost 200 plus million. Yan siya. Slide. Yan po sample ng deed of sale. Yan, bali, ang anak yan pagkakalam ko, relative yan ni Dumlao. Perma dyan. Yan yung na-releasean kanina. Panahon ni Tomas Rodriguez before Tamayo. Thank you, Your Honors.
Yes, Senator Bamagena is recognized.
Yes. So, Mr. Katapang, thank you for your presentation. Kaya lang kasi nakikita ko may mga pinangalanan ka na nandito rin, no? So baka we can give them a chance to also respond. If I'm not mistaken, anong pangalanan mo, si Director Gatan tsaka si Director Zaldivar. You were also mentioned actually here in the affidavit, Director Gatan. Secretary Singson was also mentioned in the affidavit. Maybe we can ask Director Zaldivar to first, maybe any reaction to the presentation of Mr. Katapang.
as I have earlier stressed, my appointment as the Legal Service Director was only in October 27, 2014. And he has presented that the documents were submitted and in fact verified sometime months earlier, and that initial payments were also made in 2011. And I also stressed that subsequent payments I have recommended were only in 2015 or 16,
Ma'am,
and
simply,
only upon my verification with the concerned government agencies here in Manila,
All right.
and upon scrutiny of the documents that were submitted by the regional office.
well, simpleng tanong, no? Ang sinasabi ho ni Mr. Katapang, part ho kayo nitong grupo ni Mamburam, if I'm not mistaken, no? Ano hong totoo ba yun o hindi? Ang sinasabi ho ni Mr. Katapang, part ho kayo nitong grupo ni Ms. Wilma Mamburam. At ang sinasabi niya is that you received commissions from them.
I don't know them from Adam. I am from the northern part of the Philippines, Tuguegarao, Cagayan, and I have worked here in Manila. I never set my foot in General Santos City before I became the Legal Service Director of DPWH. I can only surmise he has an axe to grind against me because sometime in 2016, he came to my office pleading with me 3 times to help him in his claim for just commission against Wilma Mamburam and Nelson T. That time, my hands were full. There were so many claims because legal service was the only one validating the claims of the right-of-way, even in regional offices. And so I told him gently that, please, my mandate here at the legal service is only to evaluate claims for just compensation. Dami kong trabaho, lagi akong umuwi gabi na, too late na. So I said, I am not a katarungang pambarangay, nor a mediator in the mediation center. If you have complaints against those people for your just commission, please bring them in the proper forum.
Alright.
Because hindi naman ako for just commission.
Sinasabi niyo ho na si Mr. Katapang, pinuntahan ho kayo noon.
Yes, sir.
So nag-meet na kayo before?
Yes, sir. He
Ilang
brought-
beses ho kayo nagkita na noon?
if I were not mistaken, 3 times. And he also brought me to the CIDG. CIDG, a certain investigator, Makachor, came to my office, brought that certification coming from the regional, from the Register of Deeds. I was confronted with other documents, so I said, I cannot answer all your questions. Better that I refer you to the regional offices because they are the first to validate all the authenticity of the documents submitted by the claimants or through their attorneys in fact for purposes of evaluating payment or recommending payment or requesting or endorsing them to the central
Okay,
office.
Mr. Katapang, very quickly, nag-meet na pala kayo ni Director Zaldivar?
So, yun. Pero once niya lang ako pinapasok sa kanyang office, galit pa siya sa akin. Kasi nagsusumbong ako about sa scam, na Wilma at saka Nelson T. Yun po ang totoo, Your Honor. Gusto ko sana i-report sa kanya ng maayos, pero hindi kami makapag-usap ng maayos. Hindi ako entertain ng maayos. Ako doon.
Okay, anong month ho kayo nagkita, Director Zaldivar?
Your Honor, I cannot recall.
What year?
Maybe 2016, after payments were already released to the landowners.
Tama yon, Mr. Katapang. Kasi yung laman ng inyong meeting, magkaiba kayong sinasabi. Pero yung meeting, you testify na nagka-meeting kayo.
2014 at ako pumunta sa kanya. Problema kasi kay Dibar. Sana pinagbigyan niya ako na explain sa kanya. Scam lang naman ang sa akin. Tataka nga ako, niya pinabigyan ng time, then tuloy pa rin siya nagpaparelease kina Wilma.
May iba ba kayong kasama sa meeting na yon?
Parang sekretary niya lang ata doon. Nagpaalam, before ako pumasok sa office niya, nagpaalam ako sa parang table sa labas, yung may tao doon.
Well, Director Zaldivar, magkaiba kasi sinasabi nilang pinag-usapan nila, ano? Pero may records ang opisina ninyo kung kailan po pumunta si Mr. Katapang.
Let me check, sir, but it could not be earlier than when I recommended payment or payments were released. Kasi yun nga po ang ini-insist niya to call to my office for possible mediation. Eh sabi ko, malinaw yung mandato ko.
Mediation ho ng ano?
Pag-ayusin daw sila, and he even insisted, sinabi niya sa akin, bakit ayaw mo kaming ipag-meet dito? Ginawa ngayon ng dating director, si Director Reyes. Tinawag kami dito, kaya ako nakakolekt ng payment or naka-email daw kay Wilma Mamburam. Well, that director must not be very mindful of his mandate. If I do that, para naman ako nagbo-broker sa commission nyo. Sabi ko, kulang pa ba itong trabaho ko dito sa office?
Okay,
Ang
just
dami-dami
two more questions, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Katapang, sino po yung sa mga nabanggit niyo po sa affidavit, ang talagang na-meet ninyo at hindi niyo na-meet?
What do you mean?
Yung talagang physically na-meet ninyo. Kasi si Saldivar na-meet po ninyo. Kahit isa, although magkaiba kayong sinasabi, si Director Gatan ba na-meet mo na?
Dito, Your Honor, para ano. Yung kay Reyes, okay yung kay Reyes kasi inaksyonan niya yung time na pumunta. Never po ako nagpa-broker kay Reyes. Kaya nga nag-resign, nag-alis, gusto ni Reyes maalis doon sa road right of way dahil natatakot siya dahil scam ito. Kaya nga napalitan si Reyes dahil doon sa report ko na yon.
Okay.
Ayaw ni Reyes yun, takot siya. Kaya
Okay,
nangyayari na scam.
Mr.
At
Katapang.
never ako nagpa-broker. Tanungin niyo si Reyes para klaro.
At baka nga magandang imbitahin lahat ng mga taong to. But gusto ko lang po maklaro, Mr. Katapang. Ito pong A to AA. So A to Z tapos may AA pa. Lahat ho ba ito ay nakilala mo, nabayaran mo, na nakasama ninyo sa sinasabi mong sindikato?
Your Honor, go-between lang po ako. Nag-aasikaso niyan talaga ng mga nabibigay ng mga ganong bagay. Si Wilma na po. Yan po, mga documents na yan. Kasi nung time na okay kami na Wilma, nakakakuha ko ng mga documents. Kaya pinapile ko po. Yung mga documents
Yes,
na yan.
I'm just asking a simple question po. Ilan ho dito yung, kasi na-reveal na nag-meet na ho kayo ni Zaldivar. Gusto ko lang pong klaruhin, sino po yung mga personal knowledge nyo pong nakilala talaga at na nakadeal dito po sa mga gawain po ninyo? Mr.
Actually,
T, Mr. Nelson T, na-meet ho ninyo?
Twice po. Sa
Okay.
Tiendesitas, sa isang hotel dito sa...
I'm guessing si Chino Mamburam at si Wilma Mamburam kasama ho ninyo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige, let's go to the DPWH officials. No? Sino nga yung regional director nung panahong yun?
Tomas. Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Yun ho, nakikilala niyo po siya regularly?
Hindi
Nagmi-meet ho kayo?
kailangan, kasi ang bagman si Rodel. Si
So-
Rodel ang bahala sa kanila lahat.
So si Unos ang kumakausap sa DPWH Region 12 sa inyo pong salaysay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wala ho kayong na-meet sa kanila personally?
Siyempre, pag naglalakad ka doon, may na-meet ka, pero hindi mo naman alam pangalan, mukha lang.
Okay, so si Unos,
Si Mr.
itong
Suave
Engineer
po.
Unos who is part of the planning department ng DPWH Region 12.
Po.
Siya po ba ay nandun pa rin sa Region 12? Namatay na. Okay, ito yung namatay na. So, ito hong si RD Tamayo, na-meet niyo po ba siya?
Nakita ko lang siya sa internet.
Okay, si Ms. Zaldivar, nag-meet ho kayo. Si Pastrana,
Yes.
nag-meet kayo.
Nakausap ko mismo siya.
You have to take note kung sino po yung nakausap. Itong Raymond Ramos ng LRA, na-meet niyo po siya?
Hindi po. Under po yan kay Pastrana, hawak ni Pastrana.
Is Pastrana Region 12 o Central?
ICT Department.
So dito ho yan sa Manila.
Head, yes.
Si Secretary Singson,
Makapasok doon.
na-meet niyo ba siya ever? Okay. Si Secretary Abad?
No.
Okay. Itong Lisa Bagaw,
Parang under kasi yan sa heads. Nakuha yan sa mga voucher, nakalagay doon. Department
okay, so
orders,
nakikita
mga-
mo yung pangalan niya.
Kaya na-involved.
Herrera, Marciana Herrera.
Yan, kasama din, pareho din ni Bagaw.
Okay. Marami pa po kasi ito eh. Reyes. Aristeo Reyes.
Yes, yan yung usap ko.
Kausap mo siya.
Yes.
Ayun yung binabanggit mong Reyes.
Na umalis siya kasi takot siya dahil
Okay.
ano niya na
Si Director Gatan is here. Did you ever meet with him? Kasi nandito siya. Letter R siya dito sa affidavit mo.
Naririnig ko lang po ang pangalan niya. Pati yung under sa kanya na si Ronald. Kasi nung umpisa ito, parang ang office nila hindi pa sa central nasa Manggahan, yung sinasabing Manggahan.
Okay. So hindi nyo na-meet tong si Mr.
No,
Gata.
naririnig ko lang.
Nares.
Clarify.
Secretary
Yes.
Singson,
Sir, the mentioned name, Leo, patay na po yan.
Patay na rin to.
It's an accountant.
Baka ibang Reyes yan, Secretary.
Yung pinalit before si kay Saldivar, yung nakausap ko na yung yes.
So, I'm sorry. It's the Reyes he must be referring to is Gilberto Reyes.
Okay. Hindi si Aristeo Reyes.
I think so. Because
Oh.
if it's referring to the predecessor of Attorney Saldivar, Gilberto.
Alright. O posible hong mali itong pangalan na to, but Reyes nga, no? Henares, Register of Deeds.
Hindi po.
Okay. Ali, DPWH Engineer 5, South Cotabato Subdistrict Engineering Office.
Hindi po.
Okay, konti na lang to. Manaw,
Hindi po.
Papandayan,
Hindi po.
Abdullah,
Hindi po.
Pakanan,
Hindi po. Second.
Suwan,
Hindi po.
Engineer Romy, walang last name dito sa affidavit mo.
Yung si Engineer Romy, dinala po yan nila Wilma at saka ni Dumlao sa isang restaurant yan sa Mall of Asia. Kasi si Engineer Romy, siya yung nagturo kung paano i-divide ang National Highway. Yung kanina na parang ginawang approved plan. At saka paano i-achieve yung hindi mag-exceed sa 30 million yung makukuha na pera sa region. Kaya yan, meron akong original handwriting
Okay.
na papel sa akin.
Olasiman.
No, Your Honor.
Alright, so ito kasing affidavit mo nakalagay, ito yung mga kasama sa sindikato. I mean, yun po yung nakalagay dito. Isa-isahin ang lahat ng kabilang sa sindikato. But sa totoo lang, ang nakilala mo lang talaga dito, siguro mga 10 out of the 20 plus. Totoo?
So, Your Honor, explain ko lang. Karamihan naman talaga, lalo na sa DPWH Region 12, kaya tahimik yan, kaya hindi yan pumutok. Dahil nagre-receive talaga lahat yun kay Rodel.
Oh, hindi ko sinasabing hindi totoo. Ang sinasabi ko lang kasi, usually sa mga testimonya dito, iba yung level of appreciation dun sa talagang nasasabi mong nakilala mo, nabigyan mo ng pera, may paper trail. Iba rin dun sa mga narinig mo, no? Gusto ko lang klaruhin for the record because nandito sila no? To be fair rin sa mga taong ito. So, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, gusto ko lang linawin. Anyway, galing na rin kay Mr. Katapang, sino yung mga taong nasabi niyang siya mismo nag-meet at sino yung mga taong sinasabi niya na nakilala niya. Last point, Mr. Chairman. Sorry, Senator Dillon. Yusek Jimeno, kailan matatapos ang official investigation ng DPWH? Because if you look at Mr. Katapang's testimony, hindi naman mahirap, sabi nga niya, madali lang na i-check kung totoo o hindi. And I think DPWH needs to have an official stand dito po sa mga claims na ito kung ano nga talaga yung nandyan on the ground. No? At kayo po siguro yung in the best position na alamin kung gaano ba katotoo o hindi itong mga bagay-bagay na to. Now, in the 6 or 7 years po na tumakbo ito, has there been farmers or individuals na nagsabi na hindi po dapat kay Julieta Fernandez yan o hindi po dapat sa mga taong yon? And nasaan po sila? Have they gone to DPWH already? Kasi mahalaga po yung kanilang testimonya dito.
Sir Chairman, I'll respond with respect to matters that I have personal knowledge of. At the moment, when it comes to Region 12, General Santos City included, wala po kaming pinoprocess or vinivalidate ngayon because based on the sequence of events, one, when we assumed office last year, there were already prior payments. I have here the master list of all right-of-way claims in General Santos City that were paid. They date back to 2011 with respect to GenSan claims, and I think those relate to to what Mr. Katapang is testifying about right now. But based on as soon as we took over, again, when I started my term as Undersecretary for Legal Affairs, I also saw it to be impossible for me to verify those claims and endorse it for the approval of Secretary Villar. That is why I proposed to him na i-delegate yung pag-verify through a new department order that would replace Department Order 34, and we replaced it with Department Order 65 as of May 2017, para ang magva-validate would be the regional directors at the regional level, and they also can form their own task forces. And
Ano po yung deadline yan, Yusek Jimeno? Because crucial na po yan.
yes,
Palagay ko yun yung isang bagay na makapagpapatotoo dito sa mga testimonya ngayong araw na to. What is the official stand of DPWH regarding the claim na hindi po totoo ang mga titulo at hindi po totoo yung mga tao? Kasi kayo po siguro yung pinaka nasa best position na alamin po yan. So can you give the committee an assurance that within a month or within a few weeks, pwede na pong magbigay ng official stand ng DPWH tungkol dito?
we can give our official stand now. Our official stand is not to pay the claims that are fraudulent, which is precisely the point why we negated the funds from Region 12, meaning pinasoli sa central office, kaya hindi po nagastos yan for 2017, even if it was in our budget. And our official stand is, one, we tried to revalidate those claims
Yes.
because we received several reports. But upon the advice also of our regional director for Region 12, he said even revalidation will not be a productive exercise because sabi niya maraming sinithreaten ng mga tao doon. So kung magpadala din,
Oh, but Yusek, that's not an acceptable answer. Kasi ang sinabi mo, dahil may complaints o dahil may testimonya ngayon si Mr. Katapang, i-hold without saying categorically kung totoo ba to o hindi. No? Kailangan ho ng revalidation po niyan. And I think it is really called for. No? Mukhang yun ho talaga yung kinakailangan sa inyong ahensya at the soonest possible time kung totoo ba itong mga claimants o hindi, kung totoo ba itong mga titulo o hindi. No?
Yes.
So, with all due respect to the chairman, maybe the committee can instruct DPWH to come up with that finding at the soonest possible time.
We'll do that, Senator Dino. Thank
Yes.
you.
So, Yusek, can you please give us a deadline kung kailan po niyo mapoproduce po yung... Kasi hindi po pwede yung sagot na wala na lang. Di ba? I mean, that's not
Mr.
possible.
Chairman, let me clarify. So
Okay.
we did not proceed with using the task force, but instead we had a meeting internally, and our decision, along with the approval of the Secretary Villar, was to subject it to judicial determination so that there can be a proper trial and determination of evidence that will be presented. And that's our judgment call, and that's the approach that we decided on. And in fact, even when we received a writ of mandamus as of November 2017, we reviewed the contents of the order of the judgment requiring us to pay General Santos claims. Based on our reading of the decision, the court based their decision only on the submissions of the petitioners, the claimants. That is why, even upon receiving the writ of mandamus, based on our coordination with our Region 12 director, we've asked the Solicitor General to help us contest that ruling, because as far as we're concerned, it can be subject to a petition for certiorari for being outside or with grave abuse of discretion, because it was based only on the submissions of the claimants or petitioners. So parang sa madaling sabi po, one-sided yung pag-decide.
With the permission of Senator Drilon, but this was the same procedure followed by Secretary Singson. Yung revalidation, dinelegate niya rin sa regional director, and it did not solve the problem. So how do we solve the problem na mag-recar kung ganun din ang gagawin? Yung revalidation by Department Order 65, di ba? Delegating the authority to revalidate. Of course, ang payment manggagaling pa rin sa central office, but you're helpless because depende sa pag-validate and revalidate ng regional director, yun din ang susundin ng central office.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, but the wording of Department Order 65 is different. The members of the task force are different. The head is the regional director, but they have the ability to call on for additional members of the task force as necessary from the central office. So it's about having one, accountability, but second, also having enough manpower support to augment the people, because before, nanggagaling po yung validation sa regional office, and then you have the central office approving. Hindi naman po yan magkakaroon ng release ng pera without endorsing it for the approval of the secretary. With Department Order 65, the structure is different. The final approval does not come from the DPWH secretary. Neither will it be raised to me as Undersecretary for Legal Affairs. It goes to the regional director as the final approving authority. And then they submit all the necessary documents. Pero sa kanila rin na-download po yung pagbayad ng right-of-way claims. Hindi katulad dati, palakasan sa central office. Pupunta pa doon para mabayaran. And which also made the SPA more lucrative because kung sino lang may kakayahan pumunta sa central office para makakuha ng release ng pera.
Thank you, Yuseka Jimeno. Before I call, I recognize Drilon. Senator Drilon. Alam nyo, hindi kumbaga, hindi makakalusot itong mga nagmumudos na ito, yung mga grupo na ito, kung walang kasabwat sa DPWH na tao. Walang mag-process. Especially, sabi nyo, i-revalidate nyo. So, yan ang problema, yung pag may tao na nakasabwat, dyan sa, I'm not saying, I'm sure, siguro naman na hindi alam ni Secretary Singson yung galaw ng lahat ng mga tao niya ay maaring may mga tao na connection diyan sa mababa na iyon ang nagtutumutulong para ma-process doon sa DP. Imposible, according to the evidence na binabasa ko, yung mga authenticated evidence na galing sa DPWH, yung like title, isang tao isang tao lang, tatlong titulo, parehong lugar, ibang number ng CTC, TCT, and then yung date, lahat, maraming mga tapos pagsulat, paggawa ng title number, iba rin at saka yung pangalan, wala minsan may word, may number pero may word lang pat walang number. Maraming mga ganon, mga technicalities na parang halata na minamadali. So kung walang kasabwat na taga DP talaga diyan dito sa modus na ito, ay hindi makakalusot ito. Kasi pag review pa lang marami ng technicalities na hindi dapat i-approve o hindi dapat kailangan imbestigahan ulit dahil maraming mga technicalities na dapat suriin. So Senator Drilon is recognized.
Salamat. Thank you very much, Senator. Mr. Katapang, kanina po dun sa PowerPoint presentation mo, meron kang in-enumerate, sinabi mo, members of the syndicate. Dahil po naka-flash lang, pakibasa nga on the record sino yung mga miyembro ng sindikato sang-ayon sa inyong sinabi ngayong umaga. Yung kanina, mayroon kayong PowerPoint presentation. Can we have also a copy of that PowerPoint presentation?
Nelson T, Your Honor. Wilma Mamburam.
Slowly, please. Nelson T.
Wilma Mamburam.
Mamburam.
Colonel Chino Mamburam.
Okay.
Mercedita Domlao. Evelyn Paloso Group. SPA Damis. May Javier.
Pakiulit, sino yun? Sinong cross? Eldon Cross?
Or Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, gusto ko lang i-erase tong...
Sige po.
Mr. Chairman, gusto kong erase tong issue na to because nagbabanggit si Chairman Pacquiao dito. And I wasn't going to raise it anymore because di naman to binanggit ni Mr. Katapang. Pero may balitang lumabas, no? Na yung brother-in-law ni former President Aquino, may sulat daw kay Secretary Singson. Ito po ba ay mga sulat rin po galing sa opisina ninyo? Yes, because in your press con, may lumabas hong letter ho doon, supposedly from the brother-in-law of the President at si Chairman Pacquiao, binanggit rin ulit yung kanyang pangalan. Ito po ba mula sa mga files po ninyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Meaning,
Ang sinabi ko po doon, itin ko lang sa press con. Currently, ginamit nila Wilma at Sonti. Bigay kay Secretary. Kuha lang po ako ng copy. Ginamit nila.
so ito ba isa sa mga dokumentong ginagawa rin nyo sa inyong opisina?
Galing po yun kay Nelson T.
Okay, so ang alam mo ay
Kasi
ginamit,
hindi lang din po yun isa. Nabasa ko is 3.
okay, 3 sulat
Yes po.
ang ginamit
Milo-
ni,
Nila Wilma Mamburam and Nelson T.
okay.
3.
Okay.
Unofficially, nakarating to sa iyo, Secretary Singson, no? These letters. Nabanggit mo to kanina sa iyong statement.
Yes, Your Honor. And I received them. I think people in the department know that napansin yung enforcement and mga ganyan kahit kanino galing. And I even verified this personally from, because the other letter apparently is signed by Bolsi Cruz, Miss Bolsi Cruz, the sister of the President. And I told her that mukhang may gumagamit ng pangalan mo. Dahil may natanggap akong sulat following up payments for right-of-way in GenSan. And the answer was, sabi niya sa akin, you know me better kung I've never done any transactions with DPWH or following up for that matter. So, obviously, as mentioned, these are bogus and spurious letters.
Right, salamat, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Continue. Kasi kay Senator Dilon yung time eh.
Your Honor.
Okay, banggit mo lang ulit sino yung mga binabanggit mong miyembro ng sindikato.
Your Honor, i-ano ko lang po, explain ko lang po.
Pakibanggit mo muna, hindi ba? Yung kanina, yung nakalabas sa ano dito.
Pagbigyan niyo lang po ako, Your Honor, sandali lang po. I-explain ko lang po yung nangyari sa letter. Kasi nung letter, sabihin natin fake. Pero yun, nung binigay yung endorsement letter na yon, sabihin natin na fake, hindi niya pinansin. Pero may na-release po kasi ng mga bogus na claim eh, nung time na yon. January yung letter, March may na-release.
Okay, sige. Okay, pakibanggit na sino yung mga miyembro.
Nandito pa po yung SARO, pangalawa, December. Ito po yung pangalawa na may logo ng Malacanang na nabasa ko po na binigay nila Wilma. Na na-releasean din po. Nandyan pa po ang pangalan ni Wilma Mamburam sa lahat to sa SARO pa lang. Nandito. Kung connection ng pag-uusapan, hindi ko po ako nag-ano. Galing sila Wilma ang, nakuha ko yon kina Wilma at Nelson T. Pinipresent ko lang po ngayon na gano'n ang nangyari. Let's say walang endorsement, pero yan sir, nakita niyo Wilma Mamburam, nandyan sa SARO.
Sige na, sagutin mo na yung tanong ko.
Sorry.
Pakibasa nga kung sino mga miyembro ng sindikato sang-ayon doon sa sinumpang, binanggit mo lang ngayon.
Ito nga po si
Pakiulit lang.
Nelson T, Wilma Mamburam,
Dahan-dahan.
Sorry, Your Honor. Nelson T, Wilma Mamburam, Colonel Chino Mamburam, at saka Eldon Olarte, yung kanyang hitman, and Sigire, SPA ni taon ni Nelson T, Mercedita Dumlao, under sa kanya is si Sara Guro, si Tudon, at saka under kay Wilma is si Paloso Group, si Evelyn Paloso, Arong, at saka yung ibang ka-group niya, hindi ko na. Tapos yung SPA dummies, sila Mike May Javier, Bilayo, Uy, Manansala, Baguio, June Javier.
Okay, yan ang mga miyembro ng sindikato sa pagkaalam mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ayun.
Sa paggawa ng at ito yung sila ang nag-finance and then gumawa ng mga papeles, titulo, mga documents.
Sa pagkaalam mo yun
sa
lahat.
part na yun.
Ngayon, sino naman ang mga kasabwat ka mo, mga personalities in government? May bilanggit ka rin kanina. Sino mga yun?
Sa pagsasama namin nila Wilma, ito yung nakuha ko na.
Sino? Yan, hearsay or personal knowledge mo, basta narinig mo.
Itong kay Rodel Unos, hindi po hearsay. Kay Dinopol, hindi po hearsay. Kay Pampanga, hindi din po hearsay. Kay Pastrana.
Basahin mo lang muna.
Si Saldivar, Unos, Dinopol, Tamayo, Pampanga, Pastrana. Yung dalawa lang po ang medyo ako doon na galing kina Wilma. Pero itong apat na ito, kakausap ko yan.
Yan ang mga personalities in government.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, all right. Sige.
Para malusot yung claim na bogus.
Para malusot. Yan ang mga sinasabi mong kasabwat na sa gobyerno para malusot itong mga claims.
Yes,
ito.
Your Honor.
At kasama yung mga sindikato na sinasabi mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ngayon, Mr. Katapang, what is your profession?
Ano po, college level po ako.
Ano?
Mechanical engineering, third year.
Mechanical engineering,
Third year.
third year. Wala kang tinapos.
Hindi po ako napag-graduate, Your Honor, kasi maaga ako nag-asawa.
Hindi ka nakapag-graduate. So ano ang trabaho mo? May asawa ka na ba? May
Yes,
asawa-
Your Honor, may 4 ako na.
Anong pang suporta mo sa pamilya mo?
May sarili po kaming mango farm.
Ano?
May sarili po akong mango farm.
Mango
And then, may sariling lending business ang aking in-laws noon pa. At saka ang family namin may kahit pa paano may property sa
Ang
dyan.
sabi mo, miyembro ka ng sindikato hanggang 2013.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bilang miyembro ng sindikato, ano naman ang ginampanan mong papel? Ano ang ginawa mo? Ikaw ba'y, first, kailan ka naging miyembro ng sindikato?
Nung nakilala ko po sila ng 2009, bali nagpa-process po ako ng sarili naming claim sa National Highway. Kasi hindi ka pwede makapasok doon sa Region 12 kung wala kang koneksyon, wala kang kilala.
Isa-isahin natin. 2009 ka pumasok sa sindikato.
At actually, ang nag-process ako, nag-start 2008. Kilala
2008.
2008, 2009, pinakilala sila sa akin ni Leonardo, 2010, Your Honor.
2000.
Pinakilala ako ni Leonardo Dinopol, yung city assessor, said, kina Wilma at kina Dumlao.
So, kailan ka pumasok sa sindikato?
Yung time po na yun na nagpo-process ako, pinakauna po nito na nangyari is sila Wilma Mamburam at si Dumlao, mayroon na sariling claim, yung kina Olarte, which is kina Wilma Mamburam niya, middle name niya is Olarte. Ang pinakauna niyan, inutusan ako ni Kuya Bong maghanap na yung kanilang Republic of the Philippines na title na kung pwedeng merong magawa.